All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week, or well, APL play-ins week 2. The matchup this week, we're gonna have Capedogs Unchained up against Big Menergy. My name is JScript5. I have TDS with me. How are we doing tonight, TDS?
Ready for another week of Playins, if I'm honest. With two teams that I don't think we have, maybe Capedogs, I don't think we have big memory yet. So, hey, at least two teams that we haven't had the chance to see much, and two teams that are looking to get their first win. So, this should be a really interesting match to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially kind of, given the whole circumstances of the situation, Cape Dogs Unchained kind of came through a little bit, disappointed that they weren't able to pick up that win in the first week of play-ins, whilst Big Menergy, still looking for just a first series win in general. They haven't really been able to pick up that throughout the regular split even. So that's definitely going to be a little bit of consideration when it comes to mind. Especially going into this kind of do or die moment for honestly both of these teams now, especially since with how the whole playing system works, it's kind of this you lose 2 weeks in a row and you're just kind of out. And
Yeah.
looks like we might be in towards the client draft or
No. no. Yeah, but they already. It seems like they started the normal draft already. The
Mhm,
draft level.
absolutely. And kind of looking at how the normal draft started off, we see the Ari gonna get banned away from the side of Big Menergy. Lava Lizard definitely very prominent Ari player, so immediately that pick is right off the table.
Yeah, and it's also a great pick when you're a good playmaker, which I think from Big Menergy they do like to have playmakers on the mid lane. So I'm okay with the Ari pick, the Ari ban if you're not going to pick it away. And realistically, first picking the Ari is not always something that you see. So this is a normal ban. Now Kane and Seri makes sense since she's one of the most stable and normal AD carries right now in the meta. The Kane ban is much more a focused ban because it's not typical that we see Kane have so much priority. But if you're a good Kane player, you can do quite a lot. I'm not sure if it was on APL or another league, but last week there was a really prominent Kane player that just destroyed a game carried completely by himself. So if you can play the champion, it's better to ban it away if you're on the enemy team. And two support bans, which I'm kind of surprised to see in the Cillian, much more the Syra. The Cillian does make a little bit of sense since he can go really well with a lot of carries, but the Syra particularly is a really interesting band to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Zyra is something that, Tofuster is kind of known to be able to play as well. These are definitely, the kind of pocket picks that we see. Honestly, both sides kind of opting for. You see, Ari on Zyra and Ari on Zyra on one side, and you see the Kane, Zillion, and Nivea, get
Yeah.
picked away on the other side. Cape Dogs on Chain pulling out the Hecarim, which is definitely, a pick that I expected to see personally, considering that, I just scrimmed Cape Dogs last night. I won't go into details of much of it. I'll reveal
Don't
that as
reveal
it
their secret
goes.
strats. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna leak the secret strats, but what I can leak is that Hecarim was definitely one of the planned and expected picks that Cape Dogs wanted to run, and seeing them get a first pick, run stock standard, and Big Energy reply with that tier 180 carry in the side of the Jinx.
Yeah, it's kind of the typical response if Jinx is not picked on one side, you picked it on the other side. Almost 100% of the time. She's a really strong AD carry right now. She still is considered to me at least the best AD carry in the game, so it just makes sense to get picked. But I think that the Hecarim is always one of the best answers towards the Jinx just because he does have quite an easy time trying to get towards the Jinx, and there's not a lot that can stop her. Now, the Kai'Sa Thresh, I love the idea of the Kai'Sa because not only Kai'Sa is really great right now with the spammable W's to just go for the AP build and she just destroys so many champions, but she follows up really well with the Hecarim. And if you have a nice diving duo in the form of the Hecarim and the Kai'Sa, you can add maybe one more piece. It feels quite good trying to threaten the Jinx and any other carry in the backline. By Vex, though, on the other side, to try and deny the diving, especially the Vex with the fear, it's going to be interesting seeing how these team fights end up working out because there's a lot of ways that either team can interrupt the team fighting for the enemy team and then make it work for themselves.
Absolutely, and TDS, what I can tell you in full confidence is that
Okay.
that's not a guaranteed Kaisa 80 carry pick.
Okay, that's great. I love that already.
I can 100% tell you that that Kaisa has a chance that it's going towards that middle lane. And I think that's something that's really interesting. And I'm not sure if Big Menergy have picked up on this, but Capedogs Unchained definitely have that potential to do so. And they look at that Vigar band like, they're kind of falling for it there. And Capedogs Unchained kind of, following with that support banning out the Yumi as well, and just making sure that Tofuster can't really get a comfortable enchanter to kind of buff up the side of the Jinx, the Vex,
Yeah.
or the Vi. And especially since those champions have this kind of huge engage potential, making sure that there's there's no final chapter in there as well to kind of make it even more chaotic.
Yeah, and I think the final chapter would have worked great with a buy. I feel like the other one that would make me worry a little bit would be the Karma, just because she does provide a lot of lane bully potential. And the movement speed boost for the Vi to not make use of the Q, for example, would have been great. Now, the Galio, though, to follow up on engages, it's a nice pairing for the Vi. I feel like it's one of the pairings that I like the most with the Vi because it follows up so easily with her. So already a nice diving potential from Big Menergy. And now from Capedogs, they need to get either the top laner here or the remaining AD carry that they are picking if this guy's is not going towards the mid lane. I would expect something safe in the top lane, but Camille is not a bad option in my opinion either. So I wouldn't be against seeing the Camille here. Okay, so
What
it
did I
is
tell you,
yeah,
TDS?
yeah,
What
it is
did
the
I
Barret.
tell you?
Oh,
Just like
maybe
that.
can it be a Barret Smith though? Because there's flex potential actually here.
I
Like it
agree.
can
I
still be
agree.
either.
And we're gonna see the Jace come out, and on the side of Capedogs Unchained, they just have triple poke champions, like,
Yeah,
kind of locked in here, which is definitely something that you would love to see. And Big Menergy responding with Aatrox, which is a great answer, especially given the fact that Aatrox as a champion really reliable in these kind of long drawn out team fights, and that's somewhere where poke champions just aren't as good at.
yeah, he if he can play around his ultimate cooldown really well, not necessarily blowing it out at start, although it's something that the Atrix does want to play around, I can see his value being there. The problem that I find with Mick Minergy's comp is that they are really reliant on engaging. If they fail the engage, it can look quite harsh for them. And if they get chunked out before the engage happens, it can be quite a detrimental situation for them as well. So the Paras, the Jace, and the Kaisa being the poke champions there, I think can be really ideal against the big Minergy composition. And when you look at it, there's realistically not a real champion that would like to stand in front of the poke. That like nobody really wants to stand there because Bai is not a tank. She's can be not a squishy champion. She's quite buff, but she's not a tank. Aatrox is not a tank. Galio looks like a tank, but it's not a tank. So you can actually poke quite well from the side of Capedogs, and Big Minergy really doesn't really want to stand in front of that poke. So if they get just poked out, teamfights will look quite horrible for them if they try to just force it without taking into account the poke potential from Capedogs.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I really like is that, it's not just pure AD poke from the side of K-Box.
Yeah.
Kaisa is magic damage. And with those Void Seekers coming out every, 3, 4 seconds, that's a lot of magic damage coupled with the Varus, which I presume can go first strike, coupled with that Jace as
Ooh.
well. There's definitely, a lot of kind of potential to see where the workings of this goes. Galio, especially since that will be Galio support for the side of Tofuster, means that, there's not a reliable magic shield and like you said, Vi's not a tank, definitely a bruiser. Aatrox definitely wants to be playing out these fights like a drain tank, playing out in a bruiser style as well. And you definitely don't want Jinx or Vex to be hitting to get hit by
Yep.
any of the poke as well. So it's gonna
Well,
be basically, can you dodge the poke? That's one thing. And what are you gonna do to outplay it?
yeah, that's going to be quite an interesting solution that the side of Big Me Energy has to look for themselves. I am of the belief that if you just engage wholeheartedly without thinking it twice, you can make it work. The problem is that most of the instances in this kind of 5v5 type of games where you have communication of what the enemy can do and what they can do, it can be quite hard. But one good thing that Big Minergy does have is that they can press a go button in the form of the bite. Like you just need to be close enough that she can press R and everyone can follow up in on the form of the Vex and the Galio. So I feel like there's at least an okay idea behind that, and they do have the tools to make it work. I'm worried if it works out, but at least there's a chance that they can work out.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking off a chance, that's all Big Better G need right now. They haven't been able to pick up a series win. So, going into this 0-1 versus 0-1 match here, kind of a fight to a death, win or go home here, definitely
Yep.
something that I'm sure both of us will be definitely looking forward to. But with that all being said, we're going to jump to a short spectator delay break. And, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. And we'll be right back with this play in week 2 matchup. Ruh-roh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on towards Summoner's Rift for our Aegis Protectors League play in Week 2. Capedogs Unchained on the blue side versus Big Menergy on the red on the right. And, kind of going into this game, looking at the runes, it is going to be Kaisa mid. Like I told you, TDS, I'm a genius.
They were just waiting till the last 20 seconds to trade around. See, I'm not against this just because I do like Kaisa mid lane. I was always an enthusiast of it because I think you can play anything in mid lane. But it's great to see Kaisa mid. Although I also like Varus mid just because of the old days where you could play Varus in mid. But that's just me remembering good old times.
Hey, I mean, if Faker can do it, so can Naswak. That's
Yeah,
definitely,
yes.
the way that they're thinking about it right now. As loading onto Summoner's Rift, I see, we see that Arturus does have that ignite in the top lane on the Aatrox. We do see the heal coming out of Madolch on the Jinx. We see the exhaust on the other side for Crisp 10. So different priorities in terms of what they want in the lane. Interestingly, Boxing Buddha is going to go for that phase rush instead of the Conqueror. I know it's definitely a preferential thing, but just something just something that's a little bit nice to note. As we're going to see both junglers starting on the bottom half of the map and pathing up towards this top lane. And this is definitely a top lane you want to be playing towards if you're the side of
Yep.
Capedogs Unchained. The Jace is absolutely a very important champion in the lane, and especially once we go towards that mid to late game.
Yeah, they have a composition that relies on so having your Jace be ahead is going to be quite important to be able to just shred against. Now, it is also important to try and put down the Aatrox if you're on the side of Capedogs because Aatrox is a really feast or famine, kind of like the wait,
Whoa, speaking of
down.
Aatrox, is a very
Yes.
early game centric
Ooh.
champ. Arturus, sorry, just gonna pick up that first blood right off the get-go on level 1, using that ignite to his advantage, TDS, and picking up that early kill. And considering that it's a couple only 2 minutes in towards the lane, the fact that the first blood is going over in that manner is definitely really important for the side of Big Energy. But in the middle lane, we see Naswak getting the passive auto attack off, survives the ignite tick as a single dingle, traded right back at ya.
I actually wanna trade in the solo lanes and just get a solo kill though. Nicely played by Naswak, no respect by the Vex. Oh wait.
Yeah, we see some more trading in the top lane as well. Nikor not gonna let that first blood hold him back here. Just gonna go for the little to the skies hammer trade there. But it is still a ranged versus melee matchup. So even though there was that unfortunate first blood for the side of Nikor, I fully expect Nikor to be able to kind of win out on this trades. And you see the moment he jumps back into that ranged mode, that's when the winning trade starts to happen for the Jace.
Yeah, and this is kind of the advantage that you do get with the teleport back. Being able to just go back to the lane where you just died, but you are now able to put yourself in a spot where if the minion wave is bad for the Aatrox, he cannot die. So the lead that he got thanks to that solo kill is not really applicable yet. And that means that the laning state is practically the same as it was when the lane started, which is really ideal for the Jace. But also, it just means that if the Jace now dies once again, thanks to a gank from the Vi, although they know where the Vi is, then that means that the Jace is going to be much, much worse. But by doing a really nice thing, look at the minimap, she already got the Scuttle Crab in top side, then is going towards the Scuttle Crab in bot side. The the Hecarim wasn't able to get there quite fast enough because he went for a full clear, which means that just the bite had enough patience to go for it.
Oh, but we see a gank in the top lane here. Boxing Buddha shows up. Nikwar picks up the kill on Arcturus, and just like that, top lane traded away once again. We see in the bot lane, the fact was Capedogs Unchained were able to pick up the Scuttle Crab. Now we see here Justice Punch going in from the side of Tofuster, but Kristan just going to trade away some autos with that Hail of Blaze Frost. Does have that Empowered Hook with the hook coming in from the side of Fire Streak. Ignite taking on the Galio, and that's another kill going over towards Capedogs Unchained. We see here Naswak going to get picked up from the gank in the middle lane too, and there's just action all over the map, TDS. What a bloody start to the game.
Oh wait, Chris?
Oh no. Oh no. Single dingle.
I think if I'm not wrong, he tried to go for a kill onto Madolos because Madolos blew flash. And
oh no, Fire Streaks might be in trouble. Forces the flash out of this play as well, but that's just gonna be another kill going over towards Madolos. One more tower shot, not able to connect, and JMSY picks up the kill. Just like that, a 3-2 start flips itself on the head completely. That's a 2-0 start for the Jinx. That's a 4-3 start for the side of Big Menergy.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is that Jinx gets 2 kills without, like, if not for the fact that the Barris essentially just decided that he doesn't want to live anymore and dies, then that would have been an okay trade to take in the bot lane, even if they died later on to the fight. But dying like that to the Jinx means that she not only gets a free kill, she gets 2 free kills essentially. She gets a free push in the wave. She's not losing on anything. She's ahead in farm as well. So everything working out for the Jinx is what you would want from the side of Big Menergy. Because the top side, it's not doing quite well in this form of the Aatrox. Like, yes, he died. Oh, wait.
Now we see the mid lane here, Boxing Buddha coming in on towards Lava Lizard, and that's like gonna get burned out by the Ignite, so it's a 1-for-1 trade, but you lose out on the mid wave in the end. We see here in the top lane, Arcturus gonna take a lot of trading here with the side of Nikwar, the Ignite taking down, and that's another single dingle up and towards the top lane. It's just so bloody all across the map here, TDS. 10 kills at 6 minutes. We're on pace for a very, very bloody game. Everyone's been a part of the kills so far. And if you look at the items and look at who it's benefiting, you see the Jinx has that completed Noon Quiver already, and this massive wave going. We see a hook going in on towards the side of Madolch as well. You see the Justice Hunt trading in from the Galio as well. Fast force out of Chris Penn as well. Fire Streaks, no flash available. JMSY does have those powered gauntlets. Fist charging in. Fire Streaks is just gonna take the looper out, but JMSY picks up the kill as well. But in the mid lane, Lava Lizard trading with the side of Nasdaq as well. The exhaust dropped on towards the Vex as well. The ultimate gonna attack the Kai'Sa. Same thing with the Q. And you know, just when I thought I could let you speak for a little bit, another 2 kills or another kill, and some go over for the side of Big Menergy.
Yeah, they don't want to stop. They want to keep this game going. And for the side of Big Menergy, I think that this is ideal because their composition relies really on not only getting a nice advantage, but being able to just press the go button and get a kill. The fact that they are able to do this consistently right now in the early game is really important for them, but it's also important the fact that they are not allowing for some of the important champions from the side of Capedogs to be able to get stronger. Oh wait, mid lane again.
We see Jace here in the mid lane, gonna get that Empowered Shock Blast on towards side of Booster. Also, Shadows coming in, but the taunt able to get a lot of tanking from the side of Boxing Buddha. The Jinx Rocket able to pick up the kill. Madolch is on a killing spree, 3-0-1. Really well played from the side of Booster, tanking up a lot of that damage with the taunt, getting those tower shots in. More fighting TDS. We see Aatrox going in all in towards Nikwar as well. Flash force out of Jace as well. World Ender popped, but no chase available. It's going to be a 1-for-1 on the flip side of it. 3-2-0 on the Kai'Sa. Oh my goodness. That's just fighting everywhere.
I'm sorry for you because I'm quite rested after every fight that we have seen. Not even the LPL is this bloody so early on. So hey, we're getting a lot of action, we're getting a lot of kills, and just like we were pointing out, although Nai almost, the Jinx gets cooked and then another fight, there seems to be posturing for this again. Oh
yeah, we see here Chris Penn is level 5 though, so no threat of the Chain's Corruption here. Exhaust going down on towards the Jinx as well. JMSY is here. Fire Streaks is going to take that notice as well, but the Unstoppable canceling out the Lantern. He'll use a little bit of movement speed, would be great here, but Fire Streaks uses the Flay to dissuade the side of Big Menergy here.
This is coming as
Big
well.
Menergy, they're just flexing all over the side of Capedogs Unchained right now. They are non-stop pushing the pace. And, you know, for a poke composition like the side of Capedogs Unchained that want to take their time, you know, Big Menergy are not letting them do that.
Yeah, but looking at the bright side from the side of Capedogs, right? Yes, the Barris is getting quite screwed thanks to these continuous ganks from high, but oh wait, I was talking about
Oh,
this,
we
but
see in the
oh,
mid lane here, Lava Lizard trading heavily on towards the side of
he's
Nashor's
ulti.
own Kai's ultimate is available. No, no, it's not. The
Ooh.
shutdown going over towards the Vex and TDS. I keep caster cursing myself just when I think I can speak. The big Menergy back at it again.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a free time without someone dying at some point in this game. Great Tokyo. Oh
Oh, please,
wait,
please,
no,
please.
she's fine.
Thank you.
Smart by Have a Laser to just go away. This is the right play to do. And Kaisa dying once again. There's good timings that the members from the side of Capedogs are hitting, but it doesn't matter because they're essentially dumbly dying. And I feel like that this is something that we cannot express hard enough, because I feel like if they don't die in the ways that they are dying, then this game wouldn't be as bloody as it has been, but not only that, it wouldn't be with a lead in the favor of Big. Because when you look at the CS leads, there's actually quite more for the side of K-Dogs than for the side of Big Menergy. Apart from the Jinx, everyone else is down in CS. Oh,
Yeah,
I
we're gonna
thought
see
they
Rift
don't
Herald
know
gonna
this.
get started up here from the side of Big Menergy. We're gonna see some, just a little bit of hovering from the side of Boxing Buddha, but the appearance of Arcturus, of that World Ender, and Tofuster in the top half means that, they're not gonna contest this Rift Herald. It's gonna be a free Rift going over towards JMSY, and with 3 people posturing in this
Someone is
mid lane,
dying
they might look
here.
for a hill drop here, especially since Fire Streak's still bought. Now, Chain of Corruptions did land on the side of Jinx, but Madol still has those 3 Blight Stacks, meaning the Q just goes wide from the side of Chris Now we do see Tofuster run towards the bot lane. We see the top in the double onslaught going in on towards the Aatrox as well. Nikwar slaps the Aatrox away, and Boxing Buddha picks up the kill. Now we see all in towards the bot side here, but no, flashes forward, picks up the kill on a rampage now on towards Chris. Jinx ultimate super mega death rocket is available. Lava Lizard is here with that Vex ultimate. Now we see the Jinx ultimate going completely wide. Lava Lizard going wide with that Vex ultimate as well, but it doesn't matter. He gets the fear. Jinx W, Lava Lizard picks up the kill. 4-3-0 on the Vex one, but the Kai'Sa ult coming in on towards the inside. Boxing Buddha picks up a kill in return. 2 for 1, 2 for 2, sorry, on the net. And once and just like that, the goal lead is in favor of Capedogs Unchained all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's going to turn back into the favor of the Big Menergy thanks to this third, but there's just so much kills, so many action happening all around the map, and this bot lane from the side of K-Dogs is the one that is paying the price for everything that has happened. Jinx is 4-0-2 right now. She's about to complete her first full item. She's so strong. She's actually 2v1 them. Like, remember that we saw the Galio being hovering around mid lane when they were collecting the Rip Herald, which means that the Jinx was alone, and she 2v1 them. Then the Galio gets in and they get the 2 kill. That's it, the 2 kills down there. That's essentially what happened, and really nicely played by Madols, but it's thanks also to the lead that they got with the early plays from the buy down there. Now, I want to focus on something before we comment on the potential plays. Buy is opting into lethality. I'm not sure if that's the correct route to go in this game.
Oh, we see Arcturus might be in trouble. Forced to flash away. No World Ender. No Ignite. Naquar just gets the return solo kill. And it's just single dingles everywhere here.
And
TDS
again,
in the ball lane. There's just more stuff going on here. JMSY looking for that Q as well. Gets on towards the Viva Fire Streaks. Dodges out on that Jinx ultimate as well. We see here Boxing Buddha is postured for the counter attack. Nasquack trading a lot of auto attacks on towards Lava Lizard. No Vex ultimate available. TDS just... I just want to breathe, man, but, both teams here giving us the game of their lives here. This is the win or go home.
Wait.
Going in on towards the bottom half of our screens here. Maldosh might be in trouble here. The just heroic entrance coming in on towards the side of the Jinx. Chris 10, one more auto would do it. Flashes forward. That's the return kill on towards the Jinx. That's a huge shutdown going over. Using Nasquack trading with Lava Lizard as well. There's just too much going on, TDS.
Yeah, there's way too much action, way too much blood, and way too much, if I'm honest, dumb mistakes that are happening consistently. But this is what makes it exciting, the amount of kills. Arcturus, I'm not sure if he's going to get there. Oh, he gets the knockup.
Oh, but the dodge is out
fine.
on that W. Able to live there.
Yeah, everything is fine. Just the bot lane turret dying. Now, Kristen, oh, wait.
Oh, Nikwar gonna go for the return. He dodges out on the first Q. The Shock Blast, able to get the return. Another single dingle. And, both top laners here just farming out the bells here, ringing it back and forth. Top dive back and forth. It's just not ending, TDS. And we're gonna have an infernal map, which is gonna be even spicier considering how both teams are just fighting so damn much.
The game read what was happening right now, and they just decided we're going to give everyone even more damage to kill even more people. Nicely that we get the infernal dragon that is so much damage by the Jinx already. She's going to be an important menace to always take into account. And the fact that she's already won 2 items, especially because boots do count as the second item, it's really, really important for the side of Big Menergy. The problem is that right now, with how the game is, if she dies, I feel like there's going to be a little bit of damage lacking from the side of Big Menergy.
Yeah, we're gonna see a play looked on towards Madash here. Dodges out on the hook, but Chris 10 follows up with the damage. That Eclipse lethality is quite a lot there. And, able to get the return kill there. And, even though Jinx does have that mythic item, so does the Varus. And, mythic items are relatively, they mirror each other in terms of strength here. So even though you do say that there is that boots advantage, the fact that, Jinx just has a lot of attack speed, but not a lot of AD, means that the Varus in Chris 10 is able to make up for it.
Yeah, that is going to be important. Also, I'm finding it kind of funny that we're seeing the Hecarim. The Hecarim tends to opt for the much more like camp tank build so that he can be a little bit tanky but also deal damage. Ooh, okay.
Oh,
Careful.
no, not more here. We just see Fire Streaks can get engaged on here. A lot of CC dumps on towards the Thresh. The Lantern Shield able to keep them alive, but the Jinx Rocket from downtown splash picks up the kill there for the side of Menergy. 5, 2, and 4 on this Jinx right now. That's a kill every 3 minutes. Oh, we see the X ultimate coming in, the shutdown going over towards Lava Lizard. Out the side of JMSY picking up recovery on the other side. Booster is going to be in trouble though. Boxing Buddha picks up the kill on towards the side of Galio. The Vex ultimate is available. Tag on towards the Hecarim as well, but Naswak is here. Does get that W on towards the Jinx as well. The Kai'Sa ultimate killing is going in on towards the Jinx. Naswak picks up the kill in return, and then the top lane as well. Nick Wars on a killing spree. TDS. There's just fights everywhere. We're at 30 minutes. We're at 30 kills at 15 minutes. It's a kill there's 2 kills every single minute, TDS. And, both teams really don't want to make my job easy tonight. That's what I can tell you.
See, these are the kinds of games where I'm kind of glad that I'm not a PvP, because at this point I would probably be dying. So I'm kind of happy to just hear you shouting at everyone dying, and another one potentially. No, it's fine. Oh no, don't re-engage.
Gonna go straight for some autos here, but the Assault and Battery coming in on towards the guys. able to use the Lantern, dodge out lost. Shadows going in on towards GSMI as well. Booster trying to build a lot of kills possible. Divide channeling the Q, able to get the shield on Fire Streaks. Able to slip on the Jinx walking from downtown, brings the kill on towards the Hecarim. Naswak on a sliver of health. Booster able to get away the trade from the side of the Kai'Sa, but Divide comes in. JMSI has a killing spree now. 2 for 1 on the overall. Nickor is on the top side here. Does have that flank angle on the Jace, but not able to get on towards the squishy backline.
Why does he hit the ward? You don't get anything by doing that. Instead, you're corralling yourself. Nickor is shooting.
Yeah, Nickor gonna dance around here. Gonna get hit by the JMSYQ here. Able to get the shutdown on towards the Vi plus 500. Going over towards another one. Chase is looking absolutely huge now. But Menergy picks up the kill on the return side. And they should be able to pause for this mid tower as well. The Vex ultimate just dodged out from the side of Chris Ben. Able to keep looking for some trades on corrupting. Chains of corruption going on towards the Vex as well, but the Jinx Master, but the Gale Force means that the kill is going to go over towards Menergy again at 8, 3, and 6 on the Jinx at 17 minutes, 36 kills, TDS.
What is going on? Everyone wants to die and kill and die and kill consistently. This hasn't been Chris 10's game. We can see it, how much he has died. 2 and 5 at 17. It's not the best of his scores, but at least he's mirroring the Aatrox, so it's not like you're the only one doing badly. A lot of a huge sequence of events with a lot of kills, with a lot of things happening, all before the dragon even spawns, which I think it's going to be one of the most important fights of the game. So it's going to be exciting. Also important to notice, Kai'Sa already has the Ludens, which means that she's going to hit quite hard starting from now on.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see a pause come through here. Now, we are going to have to wait a little bit, but honestly, TES, I'm just going to let you take it away with some analysis, and I'm going to just breathe.
Yeah, I think it's for the most ideal thing. So, quickly looking at how the game is currently going and how much of a fight space is taken with Big Menergy just trying to force kills and Capedogs trying to answer in response with trying to go for everything. I feel like this fight is going to define pretty much the game, in my opinion. I think that whoever gets this dragon, or essentially wins the fight, even if they don't get the dragon, it's going to be able to run the game from here. Because if the side of Big Menergy does win this fight, they can set up for the Jinx and then the Aatrox, try and play around the Baron Buff, which is going to be their most important objective. We're back in the game.
We're back in the game, and right away we're back into some fighting here. JMSY gonna look on towards Fire Streaks, but the Aatrox gonna go with Pop That World, and the Boxing Buddha is gonna go in as well. But Chris 10 way too far forward, my friend. We're gonna see a little bit of dancing around here, a little bit of a screen freeze here, but we're gonna see a lot of ultimates being chucked out. I think if
The
we just
pulse
rewind a
pulse kind of
little
thing.
bit, the buffer should be okay.
Yeah,
But
it's a buffer. No, it's okay. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
we're gonna
buffer from
jump
the
back
game, so it's
here,
fine.
and you know what, TDS, this is a great time. What do you think's gonna happen, TDS? Oh my God, I have no
So
clue.
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I think they're going to fight. Just because of what we're seeing, they're certainly going to fight. Also important to notice, look where the Jinky is before this starts. She's not
Yeah,
fighting this.
absolutely. Jinx is not there now. We're gonna continue with the fight as Arcturus gonna go in with that world under boxing Buddha once again. Gonna get that jump, but Chris 10 once again way too far forward. We see JMSY jumping in towards the backline with that ultimate ability, able to pick off the Vi first. Chris 10 able to survive for a really long time. Boxing Buddha doesn't have the E charged up just yet. The rocket not gonna be able to do enough. The Kaiser instant coming in from down and also Arcturus is in a 1v2 situation in the bot side as well. Able to pick the kill on towards the Thresh as well, the solo kill, but Aatrox is gonna be isolated
Oh,
from the
Jinx is
rest of
dead
the
as well.
shut down on towards the Jinx as well. Boxing Buddha trying to kite it out from the Hecarim with that boosty, with that even the flash from the Aatrox means that he was able to kill on towards the Hecarim of the Empowered Shock Blast coming in from the Jinx, followed up by the Kai'Sa damage means that it's just too much for big Menergy.
Yeah, there's no smite here for either team, but this should be a free Dragon obtained by the team. An important fight won by the side of Capedogs, putting the lead back into their favor. Quite a lot of things happen. The Jinx at the end is able to reach the point, but she essentially does nothing. She immediately dies to the Jace, and the fight just becomes even easier for the side of Capedogs to fight. It was so important. Like, we get the timing going back a little bit, so to see how the fight does turn out. But I think that it shows that how important the lack of a Jinx there was. Because, and I think we talked about this, the Jinx is almost a huge part of the gold from the side of Big Menergy. If you're playing a teamfight without a lot of your gold from the game, then you're essentially fighting a disadvantageous teamfight. Not only for the fight before, but the fact that you're essentially doing unequal items in that point of the fight. And it was so easy for Capedogs to be able to not only win the fight, but make it as easily for them to execute as it was harder for the side of Menergy to fight it. And at the end, they don't only lose the fight, but lose the dragon as well.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that I really thought is worth pointing out is that the Vi, because JMSY opted for that lethality build, just means that there there's no survivability. Once you go in, that's it. It's go in or go home, and that's kind of followed with the theme of how this game is and this series is. JMSY gonna get tagged up by that void missile here. Oh, the blast bind fails on the side of Vi, means that he has to take the Q back over the wall. Now we're going to see 4 members off the side of Big Menergy sieging towards the top side, and the rest of Capedogs Unchained are going to respond here. Firestreaks just drops a ward over the wall, and the side of Big Menergy should know the rest of CDU are here, as well as we're just going to see the top tower going to get poked out here, but Boxing Buddha wants to look for a fight here. The taunt and a lot of the dissuasion tools used to just make sure that horse can't keep galloping forward anymore. When the bot side, Nico is able to trade the tower.
I like this from Nakewar not really committing for the other team, because one thing that the side of Capedogs do have an advantage in is teleport. There's no teleports from the side of Big Menergy, which means that as long as the Aatrox is not close by, realistically, you can try and stop a fight from happening, although it's important that the turret is falling down.
Yeah, we might see a fight. Oh, the Killer Instinct! What was Nasslike doing there? Going straight in towards the arms of the Jinx. That's 2 for 0. Going over towards the side of Big Menergy as well. And with everyone postured towards this top side, Rift Herald being used in... Wait, they're recalling.
What? Okay, I kind of understand because of the chase, but why? You have free Baron. There's no chance that Chris 10 and no.
Oh, no. Oh.
Not even stopping. Yeah, but I feel like it's worse the fact that they are not going for Baron here.
I mean,
I
think they're going. Yeah, I think they're going for Nasslike's PayPal there.
Behind.
Killer Instinct going in. Oh no, but Big Menergy are gonna keep continuing in. We see here the Tofu's committing with that just too much, but JMSY forced the flash out, the flash of death. That's gonna be a double kill going over towards Nikwar. Just when Nasslike got PayPal, he decided, here, take my refund. I want the kills instead.
Yeah, he got a kill back, and that means Baron for the side of Capedogs. Now, I understand the fear out of the Jace pushing, but that Baron was so important to push the issue of the game. There's no smite here. It's a 2v5, and realistically, it's a 1v5 because Vex is on the bot lane, and like we pointed out, no teleport. So there's no chance for the Vex to come here. Free Baron, and after the bot lane turret fell as well, it means that now there's going to be even more map pressure for the side of Capedogs. Everything falling down for Big Menergy because of their lack of decision making for opting into the Baron buff.
Oh, sorry, TDS. I had to take a huge gulp of my
Yeah,
water
no, I
there,
get
but
it. We're 23 to 24.
yeah, we're
There's quite a
47
lot of
kills
kills.
at 22 minutes in the game. We're over 2 kills a
Yep.
minute, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the kind of brawl and brawn and kind of just scrappiness that both teams going for to make sure that they avoid elimination. And so far, based on the gold lead, based on
Oh,
the
good there.
fact that the side of being that don't have the
Oh,
Baron, oh, but no, Boxing Buddha might be caught out, forced to use the Onslaught Shadows just to back off here. Jinx Rocket is available, but no faith that in the damage there. And this is the type of scrappiness and action that we expect to see, given that both teams are fighting for their lives here.
yeah. It's going to be aggressive. It's going to be harsh. They need to be careful.
Oh, we do see the
Oh,
Vex ultimate going wide as well, but that Vi ultimate being committed on towards Nico as well. Shutdown going over towards the Vex. Fire Streak's gonna look, get the hook on
nice
towards the
hook.
Jinx. So that's a huge Void Seeker going in, but Fire Streaks is gonna get picked off for their troubles. Chris 10 might be in trouble as well. The Super Mega Death Rocket coming in as well. The Ignite taking out on towards the Varus. Has to be a double kill going over towards the Circuit Truck. Now that's does have that killer instinct as well. Gonna get the kill on towards JMSY. Boxing Buddha gonna go in as well. Able to get cancelled out from the fear. That's not enough follow damage. Madosh is gonna live on a sliver of HP here, and it's just gonna be Naswak trying to look for that Kaisa W poke. Hey,
she got it!
The Jinx from downtown!
Poking
Oh,
power.
Artorias might be in trouble.
Oh,
with the
another
killer
one?
instinct, the Void missiles, everything is going Naswak's way. One more W, the flash, the triple kill
She got
going
solo
over
Dragon, by the
towards
way.
Kaisa. That's gonna be Dragon going over towards the side of Capedogs Unchained. And we love to see the Infernal Dragons starting to stack up here. We see the Vex Q not able to get the steal, and Naswak's gonna pick this up for their troubles. A triple kill going over towards this Kaisa mid, 11, 6, and 5.
I love Kaisa so much. I love Kaisa mid so much. She's so strong. She does so much damage. And she alone was able to essentially carry back the game into the team. Because that was not only going to be 4 kills. 4 kills into the favor of Big Menergy. Dragon Soul Point for them. Infernal Dragon Soul Point. And it's also an important point for them because they lost Baron. And taking away 4 Baron buffs from the enemy team was going to at least allow for them to keep themselves in the game. But Kaisa putting the team on her back, essentially making it a little bit easier for them. And we see the amount of damage that she deals. Also, now opting into the Sunjazz, I love this because she is one of the main sources of damage from the team. So if she can survive long enough, that's going to be much more important than anything else she can do. Even though I do like that if she opts into the, what is it called? The Nashor's too later on.
Yeah, absolutely. And the whole point, honestly, with this Kaista build, it's not even getting the attacks. It's purely just the W damage because that cooldown is on such a short. Oh my! Oh, look at the
That is
damage there, TDS. Look at the damage that Naswaka is just pumping with these Ws. Not able to get the hit on towards a champion there, so doesn't get the ability cooldown refund. But we see here just the poke threat from the side of Capedogs Unchained is insane here. Now they are gonna look towards the side of Naquar on this top side potentially. No, Naquar is just gonna be able to walk away scot-free here. But but I want to point out a very crucial thing here: the levels. Look at the top lane. Naquar 2 levels up on Arcturus. Naswak 1 level up. Boxing Buddha 1 level up. And the solo lane differential in XP means that even though that Aatrox got really fed in the early game, there just wasn't enough.
I was going to say this. Kaisa might die there.
Yeah, Naswak opting for that Kaisa combo where you ultimately get the W to the face, picking up the kill on towards the side of Madosh. And it doesn't matter how much life you have. It doesn't matter how fed you got in the early game. That Kaisa with that AP damage, especially with no magic resist on the side of Big Menergy, will destroy you.
Yeah, and it's not only the Jinx. This is also one of the problems from the Vi. The fact that she's so squishy right now, even with the Sterak's, like it can get popped so easily. Another W potentially here.
Yeah, we see here, they're going to look for the all-in on towards the side of Capedogs, but the Flay and the W just dissuading so much. Arcturus just going to look for that World Ender there, but not going to get the full value out of it. Kaisa W just goes wide. And just once again, there's just so much that Big Menergy have to worry about. They have to worry about the Jace split and poke. They have to worry about the Kaisa poking you from halfway across the map. They have to worry about the Hecarim charging in at you. There's just a lot of elements the side of Capedogs Unchained just have. And look at that. Those forced the flash out. And the side of Capedogs didn't even commit any major. Oh my god!
Balanced. No, but to be honest, that's just the kind of thing that you're fighting when it's against this type of Kai'Sa build. It's spammable W's consistently, and there's no magic resistance. Even with magic resistance, probably the Jinx side, but no magic resistance from the Jinx means that she's an easy target to kill. I'm kind of curious why she didn't opt into the Hex Drinker, just because it's not a bad option overall. But
Yeah,
we're
oh, you see all in on the
oh,
top side, but Nikor says, no, you're not all in me. I'm the one dumping the load on you right now. We see your Tofuster forced to run away as well, but Kai'Sa's
oh.
W is just so much damn damage, TDS. Those missiles are just such a threat right now. You can see the all-in on towards the last member standing here. Arcturus is just gonna die
Adosh.
right as the World Ender
Oh,
pops. Here the Jinx is able to respawn, but look at that damage is not fair,
impact.
TDS. Double
Oh,
Infernal Dragons, and
yep.
that's just gonna be another one biting the dust. And after a immense 62 kills at 28 minutes, Capedogs Unchained is gonna pick up this first game of this best of 3 series.
Yeah, and like you pointed out, the early game was looking quite good for Big Menergy, but as soon as the Kai'Sa began spiking, she became quite strong. The think that the really crucial point of the game was that Baron buff. Before the Baron buff, we talked about this. The Kai'Sa and the Hecarim essentially suicide themselves. And that was a really huge window of opportunity for the Baron buff. But the side of Big Minergy weren't decisive enough, opted into the base way too late when the Kai'Sa and the Hecarim were coming back up, which means that there was no time for them to get anything ready, and instead stayed for too long, opted into trying to fight back, couldn't, died, and that meant the burn buff for the side of Capedogs. After that, the Kai'Sa was so strong that we saw her 1v4ing essentially, and it was so easy after that.
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely something where, Capedogs took advantage of a mistake and,
Yep.
kind of rode the wave all the way to the end. It didn't matter how that early game went because the moment that Baron kind of went over for the side of Capedogs Unchained, everything just started to fall in favor for them. And, kind of going into this second game, what do you think needs to change from both teams really?
I feel like for the side of Big Minergy, I kind of like the idea that they opted into, especially after seeing the early game aggression. I do think that probably they need to have a little bit more forceful engage, something unlike the Aatrox to help force something out. Because one thing that they didn't have was they have the buy go bottom, but I think that maybe with a Norn it could have been much more easy to execute or force from a safe distance or a Sion as well. Like there was never an opportunity for them to force because they were always poked out. And I feel like if they could change that, it could have been much more ideal. I think also we're probably getting the Kai'Sa or something like that banned away because it's it showed how strong it could be, and there didn't seem to be a really good answer against it, even though they were able to shut her down early on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely going to be something that we'll need to consider. And speaking of things we'll need to consider, I need to consider filling up my, kind of water pitcher again
Yep.
as we're going to jump to a short break while both teams go back to the drawing board. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. And we'll be right back with game two between Cape Dogs Unchained and Big Menergy.
Everybody panic! Hold on! I'm about to say something really cool. 3, 41, 9, and lift off! No one dies screaming without me. I feel like I forgot to shoot something. You're starting to bore me. She's such a loser, always ready to cry. Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back towards Game Two's draft between Capedogs Unchained and Big Energy for the kind of do or die, win or go home scenario between Capedogs Unchained and Big Energy APL play-ins week 2. I've gotten my glass of water loaded up with ice. I'm ready to get this draft up and going, TDS.
Yeah, another 50 kill game. That's how you prepare for it. Hopefully not. Like I do want to speak sometimes as well, so hopefully we get a much more controlled kind of game. But apart from the craziness, I do think that Cape Dogs played really well after the initial 10 to 15 minutes. I think that the first 10 minutes were much more crazier. Bot lane was really affected and we didn't see them shine. But I think that mid lane and jungle played quite well after the fact. They did quite a lot of things, and I'm expecting to see a little bit more focus towards that pairing because bot lane, even though it was quite exploitable, it wasn't really one of the reasons what the side of Cape Dogs ended up winning.
Yeah, absolutely. And you kind of see a little bit of adjustment in bans here. We see the Jinx ban going right on over, especially after how that first game went. Cape Dogs making sure that they don't want to deal with that nightmare again, especially if there's a world where that Jinx kind of just goes out of control and just starts
Yeah.
rampaging on the entire map. And Big Menergy kind of are in a rock and a hard place where do we get rid of the Kaisa? Do we get rid of the Hecarim? And they choose to get rid of the Zeri of all things.
So this could mean that they are opting into picking themselves. I don't know
Oh
what you pick
no.
Ash here when
Not the
Hecarim is
Ash
so.
of
Yeah,
her.
like just go back to the Hecarim. It's fine. You can. That's probably the better pick. Now there's a word now for Big Menergy where they opt into the Kaisa themselves to take it away, or into the Barriers themselves, try and not allow for it. Kaisa gets first picked here. After what we saw, I kind of understand it, but being first pick means that there's good chances to try and counter her here. I think that you could take the Barris here to try and go opt into poke against poke. This can still be a Kaisa mate, don't get me wrong, but I feel like in that case you take away in the AD carry position from her so that you don't get that huge poke composition from the Capedogs that they got in the, or opt into the Hecarim yourself here.
Yeah, absolutely. Big Energy definitely have a lot of choice when it comes
Okay.
to draft, but they're gonna opt for the Vi again for the side of JMSY. Whilst I was impressed by that early game. You kind of see Vi in those later game team fights kind of just become useless, if anything.
Yeah.
Going in and then dumping our damage and then just dying flat out. So Big Energy definitely need to rethink their approach towards how they want to go into this if they want to kind of you know stand a chance. Because right now, Cape Dogs Unchained, they went for the Kaisa first pick and they're still gonna get the Hecarim uninterrupted here.
Yeah, potentially getting the Hecarim once again. I think that if you can get the combo, it's not going to be bad. The Vi, I'm not against the pick, especially for the mid-game fights when you can just press R and follow up onto the Kaisa. The problem is that, like you pointed out, we saw a really nice early game, but we didn't see quite the effective potential that she could get later on. Especially, we didn't see the combo with Vi, Galio, Bex opting or forcing in team fights, right? We didn't quite get that in any of the team fights, so it just felt really weak from the buy overall. Hecarim on the other side was quite strong. I think that this game he should opt into the much more tanky build since you were still deal damage, but you will survive longer. But I feel like the Hecarim was quite impactful, had quite a good few ultimates, and with the Kaisa Hecarim combo, with the Thresh once again, if you already carry safe, the Capedogs trying to replicate what they had really nicely from the previous game. They can even opt once again into the Barris Chase. Like, they could even just go for the same composition based on what they are picking.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cape Dogs, they see that they've basically just been allowed to have the same picks, and from their point of view, why not? Like, you've kind of just
Yeah.
given them the exact same recipe for success, and you know, albeit it was kind of crazy in those first couple of minutes. If it doesn't fail, why need to change it?
Yeah, that is true. Like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Like Big Menergy, some things were broken and some things weren't, so you do need to fix a couple of things here and there. But the Saya pick here, I feel like the idea here, the idea behind the Saya, obviously, it's much more the safety of the ultimate, much more so than her damage. Even though right now the lethality build is not bad and her crit build is once again kind of popping up, I feel like the idea solely for the Saya this game is her safety with the ultimate. Try and survive for the Kaisa and the Hacker. Now, the rest of the options that Big Minergy should opt into here, I feel like with this now you kind of opt into Rakan if you're Big Minergy to have even more follow up, and you leave the counter pick once again for top lane. Especially now that you banned the Jace, it means that there's going to be a little bit more safety against those kind of picks. Although I feel like now with the Jace banned away and potentially an Aatrox coming back up if they do really want to play it, Camille is going to be an option that I would like to see Capedogs.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of looking over towards the lobby, and it looks like Big Menergy did miss out the ban, but they have graciously told us that that is going to be a Gangplank
Okay.
ban. Fall champions now. Capedogs Unchained gonna go for that Malphite ban once again, and Big Menergy are in this position where they have those same first two champions on their first rotation. I'm curious to see what they go here now. If we're talking about champions that we want to opt for, the Aatrox still is on the table, and so is that Galio, and it's really just a matter of preference and what flavor they want to go for in the draft here. As we're gonna see
Yeah.
3 seconds until they lock in
See
their pick
Leona or
here.
Nautilus.
It's gonna be the
Okay,
Galio
Galio
again.
one. Okay, so they're trying to replicate the combo that they had. I'm not against this, but you need to actually use the combo. Like, if you're opting in to buy Galio Bex, you do need to use your R's to go in and try and kill. That's a must. And if you fail this time around, then it's going to be it's quite harsh. Like you cannot get anything other than this and make it work out. And if you have being hovered here, potentially meaning that Kaisa is going to be a bot lane Kaisa instead this time around, which I think against Saya probably not the worst of matchups. And without the Rakan, I think that that extra ability that the Rakan does provide probably would have worked out better against the Kaisa Thresh. But with the Galio, I think that there's more safety for the Kaisa.
Yeah,
Anivia,
and
I'm not against it. I like the wall. Just to finish it, I like the wall, and I think that it can deny quite a lot of both the buy and the.
yeah, absolutely. And Anivia definitely one of those picks where they have been able to show, and Aswag has been able to show proficiency on. As we see the Wukong being picked up here, and Capedogs Unchained, even though they had the exact same three champions that they picked up, they're gonna go with a completely different flavor here, playing out with the team fights, playing out the zone control with those Anivia and Wukong pickups.
Yeah, I think the funniest thing is that you could have picked Barris here, and against Asaya, it's not something that would have been bad in any way. And then you can opt it into another top laner, either be it the Wukong or something more tanky. It would have worked out anyway. But Yone getting picked, this is going to be a top lane Yone. So it's a really feast or famine kind of composition from Big Menergy, where if you really don't win the first 10 minutes, it's going to be quite hard for you. Not because Yone doesn't necessarily scale or anything like that, but a lot of these champions spike quite heavily in the mid game. And if you don't get that value during the early and mid game, like we saw in the previous game, then the late game is going to be quite harsh on you because Capedogs has Kaisa that should go, I think, will go once again into the AP route, although it's not like she cannot take the AD route, right? And then Anivia that will scale greatly, Hecarim scales better than that of the Vi, and Wukong will find value in almost any teamfight thanks to his ultimate. So it's not like his scaling will diminish or be better. It's just that his value will always be there. And from Big Menergy, we saw what happened in the previous game with the buy, with the Bex even. Like they just fell over a little bit in comparison, and I'm kind of scared for that from Big Menergy if they cannot get a really sizable lead early on.
Yeah, I mean, you said it as it is, and I just hope that we don't have as bloody of a game, just so my throat gets a little bit more of a rest. But speaking of things which I can get a rest, we're gonna jump towards a short little spectator delay break while we're gone. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back to see if Big Menergy can hang on, force a game 3, and keep themselves alive, or if Capedogs Unchained can punch themselves that ticket to one step closer towards that playoff spot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on towards stream. We are live once again for this matchup between Capedogs Unchained and Big Menergy, as we're gonna see a level 1 early stack here
Oh,
from the side of BM. Arcturus just looking for the little early
trying
bait,
to get baited.
rocking the bone plating here. They might want to keep looking for more here. That Yon Q is stacked up for Q3, but it looks like that's just gonna be it for now. Nikwar just playing it slow and steady and making sure that he doesn't die.
Okay, nice. He doesn't get baited. He doesn't die without needing to. Nice to play by Nick Morter. And I like the idea. I like the attempt out of the potential 4-man because Zaya was bot side. But it's quite hard to make it work top side, especially when you don't really have a really easy to lock down wave people. Like when you see main way to lock down someone, it's going to be the fear out of the Vex. And even that can be kind of played around with. So it's quite hard to execute.
Oh, sorry about that. Yes, I
No.
just kind of spaced out for a second there, but it looks like we're just gonna have regular both junglers starting in on towards this bot side here. Just then showing a little Orn Horn there. As I'm interested to see how Naswag does on this Anivia. Definitely a champion that can hold a lot of control in the middle lane, and right off the bat, trading really well into Lava Lizard already.
Yeah, I think that she's going to level 2 just because of how some interactions work out. But yeah, when the level 3 hit is hit by Naswag, we may see a little bit of better. So, we're going to see a little bit of more of combination plays for the Anivia, and even setup from the Hecarim, because Hecarim is starting bot side, he's full clearing, which means that by the time the Anivia is level 3, Hecarim may go towards that mid lane and try and get something down up there.
Yeah,
Level
we're going to
2?
see level 2 hit here first from the side of Capedogs. I'm going to trade a lot of damage on towards Tofu's. Oh, this just might be first blood going over, and it is Chris 10. Who said Chris 10's going to get carried 2 games in a row? He's the one doing the carrying here, picking up the first blood on the Kaisa. And it just wasn't enough respect from the side of Big Menergy's bot lane, not playing around that level 2 spike and getting punished for it.
Yeah, quite surprised that they thought that they could turn it around being level 1, when Saya, if you have Saya level 2 with execute potential, I can kind of see it. But Saya level 1 without that, it's really not going to get much done. Or Arcturus.
Yeah, Arcturus trading up heavily with side and Acor. The flash burned out of the Wukong already. But Arcturus is trading a lot, and that's just gonna be the lethal tempo diff for Red Shield. Arcturus picks up a single dingle on towards the top side. Both of these top laners are just farming out the kill stats in this series so far, TDS.
Yeah, and it's been 2 games in a row where the Ignite diff by the Yone gets just a kill onto the enemy top laner, and I feel like Nikwar needs to respect that a little bit more. Like, I'm fine with you forcing out trades, especially because you do have teleport advantage. But if you die and the Yone has a free back timing, you're going to keep on losing that lane. It's going to become much harsher for you, and unless the Hecarim goes towards that kill potential, then it's not going to be quite good things for you in the top lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And, kind of the whole top lane is definitely been a huge flip point. We see a little bit of a trading in the mid lane, but both junglers on standby here, just making sure nothing too crazy ends up happening.
Yeah, and luckily the Hecarim is going to be able to collect the bot lane Color Crab. I think the Bai, if she just decides to walk down there, maybe she can get it before the Hecarim, but Bai is really wants for something here. We've been going for the vision. Oh.
Ooh, they want to look for a play here, but the fear gonna go in on towards Naswag's zone. But this is Anivia with egg, and JSY might have just committed a little bit too hard. Naswag doesn't even pop the egg, and that chicken lives to see another day. We see her in the mid lane. Fire Streaks is posturing here. Gonna go for the hook, but the minions are just gonna provide a helping little hand, tanking it up here and gonna get picked off. And Naswag is. Oh, they
he
really
wants
want
to push the wave, and I understand why, because the wave was actually kind of messed up by the Thresh with the hook, but luckily they are able to push it. The Anivia doesn't look the egg form, which means that you still have a passive for a later potential gank, and I cannot blame JMSY quite enough, because you knew that the Wukong was there, you knew that the Hecarim was bot side because you saw her, you saw them, so trying to force that play to work out, not only is it way too positive, it's really... honestly, it's something that I think would never work out, and maybe I still would have egged, so more than likely you die at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely something that you just have to think about. And it's something as simple as Anivia passive, in all honesty, even. And JMSI is able to pick up and look at this first Mountain Dragon, which gives, the side of Big Energy a little bit of a cushion to work with. But if you just look at the kind of lane-to-lane situation now, it's a 600 gold lead, and the Anivia has that tier really early on. It's going to slowly start sacking. You look at Crisp 10 as well, sitting comfortably around a 300 gold lead. Top lane is in favor for the side of Arcturus, but, the Wukong, if he's not that far behind, it should be able to just run a complete menace in terms of, the damage in the team fights.
Yeah, as long as he can just utilize his ultimate at some point in team fighting, it's going to be quite good. So you're really not looking for much fault in the Wukong as long as he doesn't fall way, way, way farther behind. The other places are so strong. The Kai'Sa, I think that opting into the much more AD build because of the pickaxe, like I don't think there's anything in the AP build that opts into pickaxe, so I think that this just says that she's opting to the more AD build. But she would still be dealing quite a lot of damage, and it's going to be even more risky for the Saya in the backline when the Hecarim dives in with the Kai'Sa ulting in with the AD damage, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that 80 damage is a huge threat that Big Menergy have to worry about. We saw that first game, Nasrak was able to be such a huge threat on that Kai'Sa jumping in. Now Chris 10 is hoping to recreate a little bit of that success there. But right now we're seeing some gank attempts, and they're just honestly, TS, I'm just thankful that they decided to tone down the bloodiness this game. Just makes me very happy.
See, compared to the previous game, we're 7 minutes in. We're still 2-1, not 10 kills in. So I do think that they heard us a little bit. They decided, okay, we're not going just create chaos at the start of the game. Okay, they almost said no. Oh,
yeah, and oh my, that's just
flash.
A lot of flashes committed, a lot of trading going on, and at the end of the day, just some summoners. Remember, seeing the mid lane here, this might be off some stances. The Onslaught of Shadows coming in on towards the Vex as well. That's a lot of damage that the Hecarim is outputting, but the tower shot able to get the return kill on towards Boxing Buddha. Lava Lizard able to pick that one up with the Ignite there.
Oh, Chris 10, what?
Yeah, Chris 10 just killed himself.
Yeah, like you do see those, like you can see those better down there. Oh, and Madoshi still had ultimate, so what? Like, what a random sequence of events. Like, the mid lane play, I get it, because you're still trading for a kill, right? Top lane, I don't know what happened, but Ignite is down, so in some way, Nigwar must have inted. In some way, he must have done something that meant that there was a chance for Arcturus to go for it. Or, not inted, but he probably forced his way to try and push the wave and die. But on bot lane, that's just a straight up killing yourself. That's straight up suicide. You see the feathers down there. You see what they are going to do. You know what what Saya does. Just walk forward and end up dying. I really cannot justify Crispin in any way in that play.
Yeah, I don't understand either. But at this point, it's kind of just like what can the side of Capedogs Unchained work with here? They're in this little bit of a ditch here. But speaking of ditch, this might just be a little bit more fun. No, the Wukong passive able to buy a lot of space for the side of Nigwar.
Baited the ultimate out of the buy. I don't know how that can happen, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. We see more fighting in the mid lane here. Nasrak trading in on towards Lava Lizard. The Ignite going down on towards this Vex as well, but there's no fear available. And that's a Vex that's extremely no health. And look who it is. It's Boxing Buddha sprinting in. Not going to be able to get in range off that Vex. In the top lane, there's going to be a little bit of all in here. Nigwar doesn't have that ultimate available, but the Lethal Temple is just stacking up so much for the side of Arcturus. And it's going to be another solo kill going over in the top lane. And just when I thought it was safe to speak, just when I thought it was safe to be okay, there's a kill a minute now, TDS.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. They decided that they want to keep the tempo pushing up. And now potentially we may get another kill because Hecarim is down here, but...
Oh, see some more action going on here. The heroic entrance coming in as well, but it's going to be dodged out from the side of Boxing Buddha with that phase rush as well. But the Velders pulled back. So Chris 10 jumping in with that killer instinct, picks up the huge 500 gold. Shut down, going over towards this guy's the Ignite going down on towards Tofuster as well. Just able to get blocked down the hook from the side of Fire Street. Who said Chris 10 gets carried 2 games in a row? He's picking it up this game.
Yeah, he inted, dying to the Saya. I will not lie about that. But nicely now collecting 2 kills, collecting the shutdown onto the Jinx, and potentially collecting 1 play down there. I'm kind of interested why Boxing didn't utilize the ultimate, because the ultimate was up, but beggars can be choosers. He dies, yes, but getting 2 kills onto your Kai'Sa is quite important, and also shutting down a little bit that Saya that was spiking out of control at some point. Now, at least you do have 2 lanes that are quite strong in the form of the Anivia and the Kai'Sa.
Yeah, we see the all in the top lane as well. The Nikor might be in trouble here. Uses the ultimate just to dissuade the Yone damage, but Yone does have that Q3 ready. Not able to get the hit off this time. Ignite is available from the side of Arcturus as well, but they're going to look for a play top lane here. No ultimate, no flash from the side of Yone as well, but the lethal tempo is slowly stacking. Q3 not going to be able to hit here. That's a huge minion wave. Both Nikor and Boxing Buddha's humble and is tanking as well. The shield from the Yone W is able to trade back one for one in the top lane, but that's supposed to be a dragon on a net positive for the side of Big Menergy. And even after all that, Capedogs Unchained are up 200 gold.
Yeah, it's thanks to the kill, because the kill is a shutdown, so it's much more gold than you would get even if the
Lava Lizard stuck between a rock and a hard place here.
Where did his
able
quick
back up here with that flash? But we see Vi is counter jungling. Hecarim is here in the vicinity. They have
know the
war
Hecarim is
to
here?
figure it out.
Okay,
They know the Vi is here now too. There's a lot of just tense posturing right now that both teams are going through. Nasak able to get that mid wave shoved out, so the Vex loses out a little bit there. Huge CS differential in that middle lane, but they're gonna look for the hook on towards Tofooster here. Not gonna be able to get anything, and that's just gonna be it for now.
Yeah, there's no... Okay, it seems that maybe not. Okay, yeah, now there's not much happening. They are looking for bot side. They have Herald, so this should be a first turret going into the pockets of Big Menergy. This should put the gold into their favor, where it's taking so much damage. Like, he cannot play this lane.
Yeah, they're gonna look for the dive on towards Chris 10 as well. Justice Punch going in on towards the Kai'Sa as well. Chris 10 used that killer instinct to get out, but the follow flash from the side of Zaya. Madolch is able to pick up the kill. Chris 10 gonna be able to be picked off there. GMSY follows through with the flash, but not able to convert on a kill. And Big Menergy are putting themselves back in it.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, a little bit of lack of attention from Chris 10, because you know what the Vi may achieve there, and even Hecarim is dead, yeah. Like, I'm not sure what the side of Capedogs is really attempting to do. Like, you don't need to...
Yeah, another ult in all towards the top lane as well, and Arcturus just keeps burning these ults to try just skill check the side of Nikor.
Yeah, and he's, if I'm honest, I feel like he's going to end up paying the price at some point. Like, without Ignite, it's much more risky for him to force it, but it doesn't die, it doesn't matter. What's important is what happened down there, like getting 2 kills, the turret also going into the pocket of the Saya. It's going to be so important. And this game, even though I'm not against the Kai'Sa build opting into more AD damage, it's kind of risky now, because without the poke potential from the Kai'Sa, it's going to be much more easy to opt into teamfights. Like, there's not going to be a lot that is going to make the side of Big Menergy lose quite a lot of HP, and that means that forcing teamfights by themselves, it's going to be much more easy to be able to pull off.
Yeah, and speaking of things that we want to force here, Arcturus gonna look on towards the side of Nikor once again, and that's just so much health that this Yone top is dishing out. And you know, we see Tofooster spot out boxing Buddha over here, but you know, once again, you know, Big Menergy, you know, they cooled it down a little bit. We're still averaging over a kill a minute, but once again, you know, Big Menergy find themselves with that small early lead, and you know, with the pace of this game, it's definitely looking a lot better. Now we see here in the top side, boxing Buddha gonna look for the all-in on towards the side of Arcturus. No Ignite. Ignite is available, but no ultimate available for the Yone, but they're gonna look for the trade kill on towards Ignite. Ignite is taking on towards the Wukong. Why did you go back in? That's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade in the top side. Arcturus is 5-2 and 0 now.
Yeah, the thing is, if at least Nikor got the kill, then I'm not against it, because you do get a shutdown and you get a gold value, but you don't get anything. You get a measly assist. You really don't, or even losing a lot of minions, or lost a couple of minions because the Hecarim was the one that pushed it. So it's just not worth for Nikor to push into it. Now Hecarim may have potentially died, which is kind of all he did.
Oh, boxing Buddha just gonna get single dingled out here from the Vex. A little bit of an Ignite ticking, and that's just gonna be a dead horse. And honestly, Big Menergy have turned it around.
Yeah, if I'm honest, like, watching this game feels like Capedogs doesn't really know what they need to do at this point, even though they are playing a similar composition to the previous without the poke. And it's really also thanks to the fact that even though they are ahead... Oh, wait.
We're gonna see a little bit of play here on towards Radashi, and now Zaya is gonna get one shot. Tofooster might be in trouble as well. Wukong gonna look for the chase, but the Galio forced the flash in return. And Capedogs Unchained find themselves back into it as well, able to get the kill on towards the AD carry. And with the Dragon spawning in 45 minutes, that's a huge tempo swing.
Yeah, good trade, good kill picked up by the side of Capedogs. Really nice pick by Naswag, and it's really going to, it feels like it's going to depend quite a bit on Naswag being able to hold the line and not allow for an even bigger lead fall into the hands of Big Nick. Because even though the mid lane turret is down, like every outer turret is down for the side of Capedogs. But the Anivia is strong enough that if she singles you out, you can die. Oh,
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of things that are singled out, JMSI might be singled out here. Fire Streaks, though, able to live on a sliver of health, but we look at Lava Lizard jumping in. That's a lot of Vex damage. Boxing Buddha able to survive with the feather. Pullback is just too much. Dekar able to get the return kill, the shutdown going over towards him on the Wukong, but the Yone flank from behind. Arcturus picks it up here. The flash follow from the Yone as well. The Anivia is going to be burnt off here. And that's just going to be a chicken dice. Stuff looking like KFC right now. Arcturus is on a rampage.
yeah, and being honest, what a diff from top lane. Like, Nigwar will die here. What a huge diff from top laners. Nigwar doesn't do anything. And Arcturus, in comparison, just goes in and kills everyone. Or kills the two important carries, because I feel like he killed the Chris 10 and then also killed Naswag. It's a nice attempt, I like the idea, but the Thresh hook was really necessary. Like, the way that they started that was completely unnecessary, because there was such a huge distance between the rest of the members and the Thresh. When Fire Streaks goes in, the rest of the members have a hard time following up apart from Naswag, and that means that quite a lot of damage is lost on that potential pick. The Vi survives for so long, Fire Streaks essentially dies immediately, and the fight takes much longer than it actually needed to. If they just played around the Reaver and then utilized the pick potential from the Anivia, the Hecarim, and every member, then I can kind of see the teamfight working out better. But we see what happens. The Yone, I'm not sure how he even got behind the Anivia and everyone, but it works out. They get a kill, and this game is looking quite bad for the Capedogs, if I'm honest. Like, Big Menergy, they can throw it still, like they will have a hard time when they get towards the later stage of the game, but they have such a nice lead at this point, which was something that we wanted from them.
Yep, absolutely. And, you know, oh, Arcturus might be in trouble here. No, just going to use the E snapback to get away. And, you know, this Yone is just going to be such a potent threat in the side lane right now. Has that chain vest of all items, but, you know, 8-2-0 on the Yone, you definitely can't complain about that scoreline right there. And, you know, even though Chris 10 was able to get that early lead right now, trading away kills means that he's behind on items just because of, you know, the relative strength that a or a Last Whisper and a Serrated Dirk has.
Yeah, like, those differences are not as impactful as you may want to be. Like, if this was the AP Kai'Sa, I can see it being much more important. Oh, wait.
Oh, it seems some play going in on towards the top of the side of Rivier. JMSI forced the flash away as well, but the onslaught shadows looking to chase here. Boxy Buddha gets it with just the remainder of those arcade horses coming on in. And if there's going to be a point of hope for the side of Capedogs Unchained, it's going to be through this jungle difference right now.
I think it's Anivia much more than Jungle Thief. Oh, wait.
Absolutely, the Yone gonna look for on towards Chris, and the heroic entrance coming in the Vex, able to get the fear on towards 2. The Kai'Sa is gonna be a complete one shot. The top on towards 2 as well. Naswag gonna get locked up completely, and Arcturus is gonna be unstoppable here. Lava Lizard might be a little bit low on health, but Boxing Buddha just has to run away because of the fear that the Vex can provide. 2 for 0 on the end of that play. You see here, Nick are going to look for the trade on towards the side of Tofuster right now. And Galio is just going to get caught out for free. 2 for 1 return trade, but Arcturus wants to look for more. The Fire Streak is going to be in trouble forcing the flash as well. Arcturus is going to look for the chase as well. The Yone, he has the timer running out, and they're not going to be able to pick up a third kill there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how that worked out for Big Menergy, because they had vision. They knew where the Yone was. So it's not like this was going to be a blind fight. Like, everyone knew what was going to happen.
Oh, we see here, Negor gonna go in with that Wukong ult, but he's just gonna go right back to the gray screen. I don't know what he was thinking there.
Okay, with fights like this, I think we're getting a game 3. Like, this is not looking pretty for the side of Capedogs. Okay, they get the Herald of this here, but
sweet.
Yeah, the Anivia is the only saving grace for them, in my opinion. Like, Hecarim really is dependent on that onslaught of shadows, and he's building once again damage, which means that he's going to be quite affected consistently. He's going to die quite consistently as well, and if he cannot go in and get a kill immediately, he's just such an easy target to kill. It's banking really heavily on the Anivia to be able to carry the game thanks to her range and her damage, and I just feel that it's going to be so hard.
Oh, we see the Zaya ult gonna get forced out from Adachi, the flash as well. Not able to get the feather pullback, and that was crucial for the shutdown going over to the side of Kristen. But see here, Arcturus gonna be dominating, and after taking that tower shot that far away, you know he got the kill with that Yoni there. We see a lot of trading going in on towards the side of Naswag, but the Anivia egg means that that's just gonna be a bird reborn right now.
Yeah, Anivia is fine though, luckily, so it's not that bad for them. Like, they have to pass it, but this means that for the Drake fight, there's not going to be a pass. It's going to be one of the greatest chance for the side of Big Menergy to win that fight, and it's their solo, so they need to win. Well, they don't need to, but if they win that, it's solo for them. If they win the fight without winning the Dragon, then it's Baron. And even if they don't get either Baron or Dragon, like, they're still in such a comfortable spot that as long as they win one of the next 3 fights, then it's going to be so good for them. Nice hook attempt, but
yeah, it's a nice hook attempt here. Lava Lizard might get caught out here. That's a lot of damage being dumped in on towards this Vex here. Lava Lizard able to live with a sliver of health. No ignites were used, and just, no kill conversion. Arcturus gonna posture over the wall with that Yoni. Misses out on the first Q, misses out on another. Is gonna have to be snapped back. No. But Nickar teleporting in, uses the W to be able to instantly get out. That's gonna be a hook.
Oh, the hook once again.
Going in with that by ultimate as well. But Nickar, look at the backline, buying a lot of time here. Not able to get any kills, but they are gonna trade 1-for-1 so far. But look at Arcturus dealing a lot of damage here. The next ultimate coming in on towards the backline. Gonna get tagged up. Gonna tag up the Anivia though. Has to be reset city for the Vex, baby. Double kill, triple kill, going over towards Lava Lizard.
Yeah, and the Dragon going into their pockets again. That fight could potentially have been so nice, but Nigor had to engage without his W up, which means that he was such an easy target, and he did quite a bit of damage there. But the gold div, the wallet div really affecting this much, the level div as well being so impactful, and with this soul, like, it's not yet game. Getting soul, it's not the most crucial of objectives, but it certainly feels like it's just putting one of the last nails towards the coffin. Like, this feels like it should be an easy time for Big Menergy to not only get Baron, but try and close out the game. Because even though Anivia is so important and so massive, the rest of the members don't feel like that. Hecarim is so weak, in my opinion, in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Hecarim is looking weak, but the Vi also extremely. Both of them kind of just, I'd say the Wukong and the Vi are just, being interchangeable here. Both of them just throwing their bodies into the mix here to try create some disruption in the backline, while the rest of the carries can try look forward to do some damage. But if we're talking about carries, Arcturus is that guy on the Rift right now. 11, 3, and 4, and Big Menergy are just gonna look for the Baron here, right in the faces of Capedogs and Unchained here. 2k HP, 1k HP, and that's just gonna be a Baron gone. And they're gonna look for a fight on the back end. The Yonos are gonna tag up Chris 10. Lava Lizard picks up a kill though, and Madosh picks up the other on the Zaya. 2 for 0, plus the Baron. 44 kills at 23 minutes, TDS.
Yeah, we're still with the high kills, but it's high kills that.
Oh, not again here. Nickar might be in trouble here, but able to dodge out thanks to the clone.
Yeah, he doesn't die, but guess who's dying?
Oh, but Naswag is dying. Oh, well, maybe it might be Arcturus. No, but the shield bro able to keep him alive for a really long time here. JMSY able to trade a lot of damage, flashes out for some additional safety, and it might look like the game 3 TDS, our favorite.
Yeah, we have a game 3. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't like calling games like this, but it just feels like it's not going to happen. Capedogs, I don't know what is happening through their mind, but it certainly doesn't. It's not winning this game, because most of these plays that they're pulling up are way too random, and never are collected here. They are going to reset just in case of a potential throw that they don't want to get away, unless First Strix dies here. But this is kind of the safe and smart play in some instances, and they have a lot of gold to collect. Like, they should have quite a lot of gold to collect, so it should be an easy time for them to just come back in phase, then come back and win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Capedogs and Unchained have a huge mountain to climb here, and if there's been one thing that has been consistent across both games, is that the flips in terms of kills and exchanges have always gone in favor of Madosh. On the Jinx was able to be a huge threat despite how chaotic those fights were, and now on the Zaya 7, 3, and 8 sitting pretty at 3 items, and Arcturus didn't have the same impact with the Aatrox, but definitely was flipping a lot. And flipped heads this time. 12, 3, and 6 on the Yone right now. And these 2 crit damage carries are just popping off. That was 1 Q. That was 2 Qs. That's 3 Qs, a W and an auto. And just like that, Nickar gets erased off the map of Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, he has been erased quite consistently this game. 2-8 is not a scoreline that you get if you haven't died a lot. in the game, but still that not only has his positioning being quite questionable, but he
Oh,
really
we
has
see Onslaught Shadows down towards the Vex here. The Flash able to buy a lot of space here, but JMSY gonna get one shot once again, but that doesn't matter. But Dodge jumping in 1v4 on this Zaya, flashing
there's
in,
an ult
looking like
here.
Jackie Love right now. Gonna pick up the kill on towards Anivia, gonna pick up the kill on towards Kaisa is the side of Lava Lizard, and that's just gonna be an ace for the side of Big Energy at 25 minutes, and they can end the game here.
Yeah, they can just look towards the mid lane, super minions pushing in. They really don't need anything from the bot lane, they can just push down here. Nigwar is the only thing standing between them and closing out the game, but I don't think Nigwar will do much, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's just erased for Summoner's Rift once again. And ladies and gentlemen, Big Menergy are keeping themselves alive, pumping that blood, pumping that iron, pumping those kills. We're going to a game 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Unexpected, if I'm honest. I thought that they would be able to ride the wave from the side of Capedogs towards this game, but really nicely played by Big Menergy. They replicated one thing from the previous game and was the early game dominance. They were able to collect so many kills, they were able to collect so many advantages, and this time around, in a crucial dragon fight, didn't fight 4v5, which means that they could turn it around. Really nicely done by the side of Big Menergy, and a lot of questions need to be raised against Capedogs, because when it was needed for them to take a much more controlled approach, to take a little bit of a step back and realize what they needed to do, they didn't. They were just randomly dying here and there. They had vision, but they always died without actually needing to. And it just felt like they didn't really want to. Like, I legitimately think that I'm not sure if they wanted to win that game, because a lot of the fights that they were taking were really, really random.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely something that, both like Capedogs and Unchained definitely need to reconsider. And speaking of things that we need to reconsider, why we always have game 3s on stream TDS. But with that, all that being said here, this is gonna be the do or die game for both teams. You lose this one, and that's just gonna be the end of your split. Now, with all that being said, we're gonna jump to a short break, and ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. This is gonna be a banger game 3 coming right up.
Everybody panic! Hold on! I'm about to say something really cool. 3, 41, 9, and lift off! No one dies screaming without me. I feel like I forgot to shoot something. You're starting to bore me. She's such a loser, always ready to cry. Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the stream. As you can see, the hours are starting to wear on to me now. I was a little bit muted there. It's all right though. Big Menergy, Capedogs Unchained. For one of these teams, it's gonna be their last off the split. Sounds like one of those MasterChef commercials now. But we're gonna go into draft for game 3 here. We are gonna see side selection gonna get switched up here. Big
And
Menergy on blue and Capedogs on red. So, I'm definitely excited to see how that's gonna go out. But for one of these teams, it's going to be their last time, and definitely is going to be something where, we'll see if there's any adjustments, see if there's any changes, or if we're going to get another bloodfested bonanza like we did in the first 2 games.
yeah, we better see them killing as much as possible because if this is their last one, they must go out with a bang, in my opinion. But looking at the bans, pretty much similar. Like, there's no change, even though they changed sides. It's similar to the previous games. It's always this last ban that does take a little bit of adaptation. The Anivia getting taken away, I feel like one of the only hopes from the previous games, so I understand why it's getting banned. And the Vex, we have seen it in the first 2 games. I think that the Vex was so chaotic in the first and second. Like, even though she lost the first one, the Bex was doing quite a lot. I feel like in the second game, finally demonstrated the power of the Bex. So I'm okay with this Bex man. But Jinx once again open, Seri open, a Hecarim open as well. So I'm kind of interested seeing what they opt into Cape Talks now.
Yeah, and they're good. And Big Menergy are gonna choose to go with some Zeri Gaming right here, picking it up with the first pick. And Capedogs Unchained definitely have a lot of options in terms of where they want to go and draft. Hecarim is still up. Kaisa is still up. Anivia, not off the table. Off the table. I'm kind of blind there. But Capedogs are just going to go for that Jinx first pick, which honestly, perfect response in towards this area. I don't see any problem with it. But, it's just, there's a lot of flexibility and it's really early on the draft. Like, we'll need to see where it goes. But, each one of these picks will matter in the long run. It's going to be the first time I see, the side of Madolj pick up the Zeri as well, picking a different AD carry in each series. Same thing with the side of Crisp 10 as well. So definitely something interesting. What I will note is that, Capedogs Unchained going to go for the Zac in this game, which is pretty interesting, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, so opting for the sack is something that I quite like. It's not like he's in a super bad spot. He's not in a super good spot either, but he's such a niche champion that if you know how to play it, can carry a game for you in the sense that he can set up for your team so well. And I like the sack. I would like to get another follow-up for the sack as well, but already I like this to pick. It also means that the Hecarim buy is still open, so yeah, buy being the option here. Buy has been quite a force in the early stage of the game, and she can gank quite well, so we may see that a lot of power from that. But Zac as well, Zac is a really good early game ganker as well with the level 3 potential, even level 2. He can come from really nice spots where it's hard for the enemy to be ready for it, so the Zac is going to work quite marvel. And I feel like maybe they're opting here for their support, maybe a Thresh, instead opting for the Yone. Wow.
Yeah,
Quite aggressive.
definitely really interesting here. But the side of Arcturus definitely performed really well on the Yone, and even though JMSY definitely performed a little bit off on the Vi, able to pick up comfort once again means that Big Menergy do have familiarities to work with. And really, it's just going to be up to Capedogs Unchained on how they want to counter it. If anything, maybe they feel a little bit silly banning out the Malphite the first 2 games when the champs like Yone are up. But we are going to see Lulu picked up here for the side of Fire Streaks, and Jinx Lulu is always a solid lane that we could definitely work with.
Yeah, I like it quite a lot, especially not only for the lane stages, but for the late game, if you can buff your Jinx even more. She already is one of the best carries, so now it's going to become even more powerful. We see the Jumi once again banned, makes sense just because of who the potential pairing is going to be with the Seri, but even more so than that, it's just that she does provide quite a lot of potential power for later stages of the game, for the Yone, for the Vive, and a lot of safety, so it makes a lot of sense. Like you're pointing out, Malphite was banned in the previous 2 games and really didn't feel like it was actually impactful. This is, I think, the first game that we're going to get a different man apart from the Malphite. I think it's going to be onto the mid lane, if I'm honest. So we may see something like an Orianna or Syndra getting banned away, but it may as well be just a support ban. And it is a Syndra.
Yeah, absolutely. Syndra ban definitely one that's, stock standard, relatively, decent in terms of blind,
Yep.
but getting rid of the Vex and getting rid of the Arty means that Lava Lizard has to be on a pick that, is something that he's not used to. So this is definitely going to be an interesting scenario. And I presume that, Capedogs are going to have counter pick exactly where they want it. They're going to pick out the
Really?
top lane counter pick here in towards the Yone and the save mid for 5.
the thing is, this can still be a flex Jonin, right? Like, it's not like this is up forced into going towards the top lane, even though Arcturus played quite well. So it can be kind of risky for Capedogs. I think that if they are opting for something in the mid lane here blindly, Victor would be great because of the wave clear and the amount of power that he has. But instead, opting into the action, so it's going to be carry, be it top lane or mid lane, which it's going to be fun. At least they already like to kill each other a lot, so at least it's going to be more fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, the Akshan can be a flex as well. Top lane, mid lane.
Yep.
There are, obviously two options that we can opt for here. And, we'll have to see how Big Menergy responds to this flex. They essentially just, be picking out their support counter and, mid lane blind here. And we're going to once again see that Galio being picked up. And, just seems like Big Menergy just can't go away from those two champions if their other picks are banned out. So, leaves them with 20 seconds to think about, what they want to go with this last pick that it's gonna seal the fate of the universe. And
it's between mid and top, pretty much. Or unless this is
Absolutely.
Galio mid, right?
Lava
Okay.
Lizard's pulling out the Annie. Now we're gonna go back down a trip. We're gonna go through a trip down memory lane, ladies and gentlemen. But
Ooh,
Lava Lizard was a avid player off that Annie in the Aegis Guardians
okay.
League last split, and running it back here on the stage of APL on the play-in stage with essentially the last game. This could be their last game of the split, putting it
Yep.
all in the OG pick, putting it all on what got it
Okay.
started is the way to make it work. And we're gonna see the Kale gonna be the response in that mid lane.
This is, for me at least, this feels like mid versus late game because Big Menergy has a lot of power mid game, but come late game, you have a Kale, you have a Jinx, you have a Lulu, even an action, so you have double AD carry. If you are able to get towards the late game, you are essentially not only going to fight for quite a long time, you're going to deal quite a lot of damage, but if the action survives, you're going to get 2 chances to fight in a team fight, or 2 chances to be in the map, which is so ideal for Capedogs. But I really like Big Menergy's composition, if I'm honest. Like, you have a lot of CC, you have engage with the buy, with the Yoni as well, you have potential lane pressure because early on, Annie can be quite good, and I think it depended on the lane, because if the Kale is going topside, then she's going to get pressured by the Yone. And if she's going mid lane, Annie can put pressure on her as well. The action can put pressure on the Annie, but it's riskier to leave your Kale against the Yone than I feel it can be against the Annie, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, both compositions are set out, and we're honestly
Yeah.
just in a world where we have a banger alert. So,
Like the first two.
I'm gonna let the whole nature of the game do the talking for itself. It's game 3. It's do or die. This is it. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna jump to a short break while we wait for game 3 between Capedogs Unchained and Big Menergy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is it. This is do or die. And what's the champion that's going to determine do or die? We got to zoom in on it. Red Riding Annie, baby.
Didn't you have a better something like that? Your whole tournament life depends on a champion, and you're choosing Red Riding Annie. Talk about power, right?
I agree.
But anyway, looking at a little bit of the lane assignments, we were talking about where some of the champions may opt into. It's going to be action mid and kill in the top lane, triple ignite for the side of big Menergy. On the other side, there's one ignite, one teleport, and one exhaust, which it's going to work out quite well. I'm honestly not really confident in the exhaust in the cleanse from Crisp 10 because if I'm honest, I feel like if you get stunned, you're dead. So I'm not sure if it's going to work out that well this game, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but most crucially, it's gonna be a lane swap between the side of Naswak and Nick RTS. We're gonna have Kale mid, played by the top laner, and Akshan top, played by the mid laner. Now, Annie as a champion definitely has a lot of burst to offer, but it's very telegraphed. It's very obvious when Annie is gonna go for the combo. You see that bar maxed up, just walk back a little bit. Whereas, Kale just wants to scale, so it should be all good. And just play out slow,
As
take
long
it
as she
easy.
doesn't die at level 6, I think everything's fine. I think that's the huge moment where Annie, or you even telegraph, because she can obviously flash in and train. But as long as Kale just dies once, if she's going to die at all, then I think that's fine. If not, then Kale is en route to having a good game.
Absolutely. And speaking of things that are a good game, guess what, TDS? Last game, the game before, we already had a kill at this time.
Improvement.
Improvement.
Well, I don't know if it's better or not, but at least for us, it's more relaxed. Oh.
Okay. I really should just shut up when making claims like this. But a lot of trading in the bot side. Flash and Cleanse burned away from the side of Crisp 10. But in general, still just no kills going over just yet. We've seen the top lane though. Nasai gonna have a slight HP advantage over the side of Arcturus, which is definitely what you want to have out of Akshan. But there should be more pressure when you're playing, especially this really oppressive ranged top laner like Akshan with those double auto attacks. And we haven't seen that just yet, but definitely hoping for maybe a kill in the top lane in terms of how they want to look for a play there. We've seen the bot lane just gonna be a wave now, and junglers are just respectively clearing their own camps as well. This has been a much slower game. Yes.
Yeah, it's been a little bit more slower than what I expected. I haven't even seen the junglers trying to achieve a gank going into the lanes, which surprises me, especially with a Bai and a Sacco though. Bai posturing behind, she's coming in for the gank.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna see
flash
the
in.
flash in as well from the side of Lava Lizard, and Nikwar is gonna get picked off here. First blood going over towards GMSY on this Vi, and you know that's just the reality of playing a champion like Kale. You don't get the opportunity to be safe when you're pushed so far up, and we see Arcturus taking a lot of damage from the poke and the auto attacks that Naswak is able to put out, and you know these are both Ignite having top laners, so there's definitely a kill angle in the top lane. We just haven't got to see it yet.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see a little bit, but great timing by the Vi. We were talking about this, how the Gary game was going a little bit less, with lesser impact than the previous games, but great timing by the Vi, great action by her, great first blood obtained in the full lane. I also like that it's not the Annie that got the first blood, but instead it was the Vi, because I feel like she needs to get the value more early than that of the Annie. Like, Annie is going to get value anyway with her ultimate, but Bai needs to be able to keep on spiking and try and enroll the game, especially if she's opting into lethality. The fact that she gets the first blood is really, really ideal for the side of Big Menergy. Oh,
Yeah, we see it all in on the top lane. Both top laners definitely chunked out a lot here, but Naswak coming out on top just because he drops the Ignite early, and Arcturus able to survive on a sliver of health.
yeah, close enough. And I think that Naswak needs to play a little bit more aggressive in that, because no Ignite was used by Arcturus, and I feel like if you use the hook shot a little bit more aggressive, you either first out the flash by Arcturus, or you get a kill. And I think that that's the kind of aggressiveness that would have been better from the side of Naswak in that play. But no kill gotten, and a summoner advantage for Arcturus, and a Drake as well. I don't think we have talked much about this, but JMSY has done a really great job all over the series to collect these objectives, to try and keep his team with objective advantage, and I feel like almost every game he either gets one dragon or one herald, at least.
Absolutely, yeah, that's definitely been something that he's been very consistent with and is really good for the side of Big Menergy now. And the thing is, can they look for more though? There you see the stun burn from the side of Lava Blizzard, able to take 6, but no stun available, and that's gonna be a lot of damage loaded in on towards Annie here, but Lava Lizard is still alive, like you said, TDS. And that's just gonna be the Blob Blitz coming in, congregating for the kill for the side of GMSY. That's gonna be a 2-0 start for the side of Big Menergy, which is absolutely huge.
Yeah, the level 6 power spike, even without stun, you have the extra well, not champion, but the extra creature there to fight for you, and the buy, crucial from JML to flash in. Oh, wait.
Oh, you see a lot of fighting up on this top side, a lot of spells being burned as well, but it looks like it's just going to be some more even trades in the bot lane, a slight CS lead for the side of Madolch and crew. But
oh
no, it's just so close and so tense. We see here Naswak gonna use that comeuppance, but it's just gonna get blocked away by Arcturus.
Yeah, still wait bot lane again.
Yeah, absolutely.
But those flash
so close. Everything is just dancing on a nice edge here, and it's that game 3 tension. It's that do or die tension, TDS, that is just keeping things so tight between both teams.
Yeah, and funnily enough, even with the lead, the CS advantages in top lane and in the jungle are making the gold lead be in favor of be much closer than it should be with 2 kills. Another gank attempt by Boxing. This time around, there's the Kale ultimate. So if you
we do see Boxing Buddha look for the Kale gank here, and it's gonna be the kill going over in towards the hands of Nikwar. That's how we want it to be if you're the side of Capedogs Unchained. And, you know, getting that kill, scaling ahead is exactly what they want to do.
And another one on top lane. And it looks like Arcturus trying to force a play because ult is down, flash is down, ignite is down. And it probably backfired against him. He dies. And not only do you lose the Annie, you lose the top laner, you're losing a plate in mid lane, and what looked to be a potentially really nice start from the side of Big Menergy is turning into now a nice turnaround by the side of Capedogs. They have a lead right now, and their champions are poised to get stronger and stronger the longer the game goes on.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, it's just that scaling element. Everyone knows about, you know, Jinx in the late game power fantasy. Everyone knows about how strong Kale is. But another crucial thing is, Kale has ultimate here, so should be able to sign. Doesn't get past the stun CC duration though, and Lava Lizard picks up another kill on towards this kill. We see a lot of trading in the bot line. though we see Tofushi gonna use that taunt to go to buy a lot of space with the polymorph from the side. The Fire Streaks dissuades the rest of that trade, and this ball lane is just dancing on a nice edge here, going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
They want to go for the kills, they want to go for the fight. I think bot lane has been quite like that, just trying to force out plays, not much achieved. But I feel like with the difference that is happening right now on the other side of the map, the junglers have been doing quite a good job to try and keep the game at... Oh, wait.
Oh, we see in the top lane here, they want to look on towards this Yone here. The passive will not proc the shield, doesn't get the shield, which means that the Yone is just going to be able to jump out nice and easily.
Yeah, the sack doesn't get the stun into the minions, so it means that the Yone can escape quite easily. And without flash, it was going to turn into a potential kill in the top lane. Oh, coming mid. Oh, wait.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's going to be a mid and ball fight as well. But Dolph just picks up the burst towards Fire Streaks. The Jinx ultimate coming in as well. Chris 10 picks up the return kill on towards one. Oh my god, this is going to be a 2-for-2 trade in the bot lane. And that's what happens when you have the excited Jinx up against the juiced up Zeri with that ultimate ticking away. It's just trades all over the place. Now, Chris 10 did have flash, so maybe he could have lived out in the mid lane. Nick Ward is just going to get picked on here, and JMSY is on a killing spree now.
This gold lead is spiking for each side. It's a roller coaster to see which team gets the lead, and it's working out for both teams. Like, I do gotta say that I think that this is more beneficial for the side of Big Menergy. Oh, wait.
Ooh, we see here another play on towards the mixed lane. Boxing Buddha is just going to get targeted out by the Tibbers. And why did you say creature like that, DS? Tibbers is a bear. Don't disrespect the pet like that. My goodness.
Okay, so hear me out. It is a pet, but it's a monster, essentially. So I think that creature is good enough. Cute? What?
Yeah.
How is it cute?
A teddy bear.
Yeah, a teddy bear that suddenly grows fangs and has huge claws that will tear you apart. How is that
like
cute?
A sweet teddy bear. Imagine like you're just getting bullied and you just throw the bear at him, and he's like, "Yeah, back off." That's right, take that. Yeah, any Tibbers fans in the chat?
If you're a Tibbers fan, you scare me in real life. I gotta say.
Damn. Anyways, we see here though. We look at the top lane. Nasdaq actually has a really strong CS lead up against the side of Arcturus and is picking up a lot of tower plays. Yep. Even though they're not able to capitalize on the kills, they are able to capitalize in terms of making play. We see here Tofushi going in with the jump punch as well. Chris Tam is going to be in trouble, uses the cleanse to back out of one thing, but the Annie follow is right there. The Zeri is going in,
Zeri. Wait, what?
Now Dosh might be in trouble here. Uses a polymorph, and there's a lot of spacing that is being bought here. Gwen is... Oh, not Gwen. Sorry. Zeri is trying to jump away right now. No teleports to keep the Zac Floppus alive. And without the Kale being scaled up, and without a Jinx being alive here, Madolsh, I thought that was a little bit of an int there, but he's able to pick up the kills, pick himself up a wonderful juice up with that ultimate constantly ticking. And that's a lot of damage, a lot of kills, and a lot of gold swing over for Big Menergy.
Yeah, it was a bait all along. Madolsh jumping in. I was about to say the word for jumping in Spanish for some reason, but yeah, jumping in. Try and create a space, try and create chaos. I thought she was hinting like you, but really nicely played. The buy follows up really easily. She doesn't even use ultimate, I think, in that fight, which surprises me. But with the lead that she has, and this is why I said that it was really important for the buy to get the lead. With the lead, you can force plays like this, and you have enough damage to kill champions like the Jinx, like the Kale, so effectively. They tried to do everything from the side of Capedogs to keep this Jinx alive, but they couldn't. They lose the fight, they lose the dragon, and once again, really nice objective control by the side of Big Menergy.
Yeah, we're gonna see just a whole squad, the whole US Navy is bouncing in. Big Menergy are here to flex, baby. And Madolsh is just letting this snowball roll right now, picking the kill on towards Boxing Buddha. And this is looking quite dire for the side of Capedogs Unchained here in the bottom lane as well. Lava Lizard just dumping it all on towards the side of Capedogs. Madolsh is on a killing spree right now. And this could just be it, TDS.
Unless Naswa gets a kill.
Naswa is able to trade the kill, and there's a lot of pressure in the top lane. 40 CS differential, trying to keep them hanging on a thread in this game. But, you know, once again, like, there's just so much going on here. Nikor has not been able to scale smoothly. Chris 10 doesn't even have a mythic item yet. And, you know, the unofficial preseason league, but official in our heart preseason league champions are going to be under threat here.
Yeah, and this is a complete contrast from the previous game by Arcturus. playing in the previous game, he was dominating the top lane, doing so much, killing the Wukong as much as possible. But this time around, in a much harsher matchup against Naswag, which was performing so well in the previous two first games, doing so much. Oh wait.
Oh, we see some more play going on in the ball as well. Zerial gonna be a pop here as well, but Chris 10 is just getting melted off the map right now. Those shields, those are mine, baby. Madolch is on a rampage right now. Boxing Buddha jumps in. It doesn't even matter. Fire Streaks is just gonna get gunned down. And Zeri is just online. Double kill for the side of Madolch right now. 7-1-1. He wants to look for more here. Gonna go in on towards Boxing Buddha as well. The Hex Gate coming in as well. That's a lot of tower shot. That side Madolch is tanking. But Tofuster is gonna be the one to tank it up first. And Nikwar just comes here just to watch the rest of his team die. It's 14-5 on the kill count, TDS. And it is not looking good. 3,700 gold lead. Now we do see here Naspak is positioned here using that Octon W to buy some invisibility. It looks like a solo dive. Oh, it's going to be a revive on towards Boxing Buddha as well. The Vi is going to get the punch on towards the side of Naspak as well. The kill also coming down on towards the Akshan. And he still able to pick up the kill, but Madolch is the one dominating, picking up the last one there, and his kills all over the place. But the moment that Akshan gets shut down, who on the map is winning for you, Capedogs?
Yeah, well, wait, unless we had another potential fight here. Okay, no, they are finally running away. We see the value there out of the action, getting the kill, but it's so easily turned around. They get a shutdown onto the action as well, onto the Seri, and oh, wait, they're dying. Oh,
ooh, no, Fire Streaks is just going to get picked off. A Lulu is just going to get gunned down, and it's all starting to fall apart here for the side of Capedogs Unchained. They're going to go right back in towards the doghouse after this one because, you know, there's just no gold. There's no sizable gold leads anywhere that can really pull them through. As you see here, Chris is going to get all in here. Uses the cleanse to get rid of the ignite, so it's able to live. But, you know, we talked about how Arcturus was behind a lot in laning phase. You know, he's able to 1v1 the Jinx perfectly fine here. And as we see here, Boxing Buddha gonna look for the trade on towards the Yone here. Does have that red smite taking down and burning away, but is it able to give it enough? No, the Jinx ultimate able to buy a lot of space, but the minions, are gonna be the hero here, and Arcturus is able to live.
Yeah, and the minions come in as heroes to save Arcturus. But you talk about how the Jinx almost died. That should happen. It's a Jinx against a Yone, like it's bound to happen. Oh.
Yeah, oh no, we see here more just retaliation play. Nasok able to dodge a little bit to the right to get rid of that Zeri W on his ass there. But, you know, it's just, right now, it's just so much of the plays that the side of, you know, Capedogs are trying to make is just trying to catch up and cope with what the side, oh no.
So, does Nikwar die?
Yes.
I think he does.
3,
okay.
2, oh.
No, he's guiding back.
1. Oh, he's gonna notice that the drugs are. Oh my god! Yeah, he's just able to live that out. But oh no, JMSY wants to look for more as well. Is gonna get the chain CC. No, Lava Lizard goes for the flash stun, and Nikwar just got game played. Now see here though, they are gonna look for the all in on towards Madolch, and that's gonna be a kill going over. But is it gonna go over to Akshan? Yes, it is. 1,000 gold shutdown going in towards the pocket off the side of Nas right now. And Tofuster is not gonna be too long for the Justice Punch. He's gonna punch herself back in towards the gray screen here. And that could be the dragon pickup as well to get the little objective mounting. But in the top half of the map here, the Annie and the Vi are just running rampant.
They have to get the dragon because they are losing so much on the other side of the map. The Kale not only dies, but they are losing the top lane inner turret. So it's so risky for the side of Capedogs to not get something out. But Kristen cannot well, there's no fair.
Kristen can't walk up to the Annie there, and you know, it's just Violet from the hit show Arcane Differential here, because JMSY 5-1-6, we were doubting the Vi pick before, but this game, you know, he pulls it out and says, you know, if it doesn't work the first time, I'm gonna try harder, I'm gonna bounce back, and you know, most certainly has done that. 5-1-6 kill participation through the roof right now, and definitely part of the reason why Big Menergy might just make it through to the next round of play-ins.
Yeah, it might be just that, and thrice is the charm. 3 times, it's bound to work out. So, yeah, exactly. So as long as JMSY was bound to try it as long as he wanted, then maybe he could carry. And for this game, I think particularly works out even better going for the lethality because there's no poke that will kill him as much. There's a lot of squishy champions, and as long as you can go over the sack, it's actually not that bad of an idea. I'm not 100% sold on it, but there's situations where it can work out, and it seems like this game is going to be that. Now, I want to talk about something quickly before they force another fight, and it's the Seri build. It's not the typical try for Seri build. This is a much more crate oriented. Oh wait,
Yeah, it's a much more optimal build as well here, as we see here, Lava Lizard just deletes Fire Trees in what's optimal anti-combo usage, not even needing to ignite. And going back to that Zeri build, it is definitely a really sweet build, TDS. You have the Sheen passive, you have the survivability from the shield build as well. So I'm a huge fan of it. I don't know
Okay.
about other people, but right now, like,
Oh, Kale.
we're just gonna see more picks going away, and JMSY, that lethality is just doing so much here. Lava Lizard isn't getting the 600 gold shutdown over, but Maldosh is picking off a wave, firing off with those Zeri.
Oh, Yone!
Doing it off from the Yone, but
Oh, what?
that's why he's the one on the killing spree instead. But no, Maldosh might be in trouble as well. The tower shot gonna get the revive on the Jinx as well. And just when we thought Big Menergy might be securing the back, they're giving a lot of kills. They're giving the revives over. Akshan, the comeuppance.
Silverstone is alive. Can he run away?
The
smite?
Boxing Buddha gonna
Oh, he's
look for the
fine.
W. Gonna tag off JMSY with that Q. 1Q. Latch on. The CC
Not
is
the
there.
flash.
That could be a kill over. The Kraken Slayer
Oh.
picks up the kill on towards the side of Booster. And JMSY is the only one to walk out of it.
Yeah, the carry of the game. Oh, wait.
Oh, Lava Lizard might be going into a little bit of deep territory here. Is going to try hunt down this Akshan, but Naslak should just be able to walk out scot-free with this invisibility and the E reset.
Yeah, and we thought that we would finally get the Arcturus carry moment where he would ulti in. Instead, dies immediately, doesn't achieve anything. And it's a nice moment for a turnaround for the side of Capedogs. This game is staying closer and closer thanks to the shutdowns that they are getting, but also thanks to the action passive. Because he gets the revive, they are able to get back into the map like we talked about, and they are able to get a little bit of cold influx that the enemy cannot get. So it's keeping the game closer thanks to that. Are they going to first Baron?
Yeah, it looks like they might just do so. They have the damage and
No vision.
they have the vision advantage here. Fire Streaks is busy clearing out that control ward, and this Baron is going by pretty quickly. Kale is able to get about a tower in the bottom lane, and there's no vision. Baron is half health now. Wards are going to go down on Baron now. Boxing Buddha does have that elastic slingshot and that smite to be able to work the steal here. Oh no, it might be. It might just be too early. 1.5k, 1.2k, that's bang over, and Chris Penn gets burned off the map by Lava Lizard while we weren't even paying attention. Fire Streaks might be the same fate here too. JMSY jumping in, vaulting over. We see here Naslak gonna get a lot of trade autos on towards Booster, but that Galio is just tanking it all up.
Yeah, and I don't know, like you're pointing out, I don't know how Christian dies, but he was bound to die when the Ani found him. Now, the Baron buff, a great call. I really loved it because, like you pointed out, no vision from the enemy team. Instead, a lot of vision in the red side jungle from the side of Big Menergy means that they know where the enemy may be, and they knew that the KO was bot side. So if she has to burn a teleport if she wants to come in, but they have complete control over the Reaver. The play was so smart. And it also, they are able to bait out the jump out of the stack, waiting a little bit, not bursting out the Baron as soon as they could. And that means that the stack cannot get into the pit in any way. Great call, great.
Oh, they are going to look for a play here, though. Boxing Buddha going to get a 3-man knockup here. They're going to look for more here. Naslak on the fight, trying to fight the side of JMSY. Lava Lizard gets a stun on towards Chris. And once again, just evaporates the Jinx. They are going to get the trade kill on towards the buy, though, and the comeuppance is coming down onto this Annie. Who's going to block it? It's going to be Maldosh. Oh, but no, he's going to jump back in, right in towards the waiting hands of Naslak, reviving off the Zac here, as once again, a one fight for the side of Capedogs Unchained, getting the kill on the revive. And the rest of the team is back up. Now, they are sitting on a ward here, though, and they're going to cap look at the combo. Oh my god, I didn't even know you could do that, TDS. They're going to go in, they're going to get a kill, and it's going to be a 4-for-1. Holy shit.
I think it's 5-for-1 because I think Galio died as well. So I think Galio died, but if not, I could be wrong. Like, I'm not sure. But anyway, like, even if Galio survived or not, the important members died. Everyone else dies there, and it's the action. The action is doing so much in this game. He alone is not only doing enough damage to carry, but the revives are so massive. That combo there, credit to Nick War and Nasvak, because like you, I didn't even know that you could do that. But it looked quite smooth. And thanks to that, those skills that they get the dragon as well. 2 Hexed Dragons in their favor. And this game looked kind of hard for the side of Capedogs after the Baron was done. Yeah, Gallo didn't die, so the Baron buff is still active. But you're able to stop the Baron push. You were able to get back a lot of the gold lead, so now the gold is in favor of Capedogs. And this game is looking so much better now for Capedogs. Naswak is doing so much this game.
Yeah, Naslak does not want to lose.
Yeah.
That's how you describe it right here. Naslak, he does not, he's just refusing to lose right now. Popping the hell off on this auction right now. 11, 1, and 2. And you know what? It's starting to pay off. Look at the kills level. Level 14 now. Only 2 more levels until that ticking time bomb starts to explode. Almost at 3 items. And if you look at Lava Lizard, that's only 2.5 items on the Annie. It's starting to even up. There's just no farming from the side of, you know, the mid and top from the side of Big Menergy, and they're pausing.
Oh wait, Naswak? No,
Naswak! He wants to lose it. He's gonna get caught out here. Boxing Buddha trying to survive as long as possible. He's gonna pop that Zac.
Oh wait,
Chris Ben's gonna get caught out by the Yoke. Q forces the flash. Yoke forces away the Lulu shield. But look at Nikwar. Nikwar doesn't want to lose out. Trying to do as much damage as possible on the kills. Kale is available. A lot of CC gonna get locked down. On towards the kills. Like Heroic Entrance gonna come in, but that's a lot of health. Disappearing on the side of Big Energy. Reset for Chris Ben. They can look for the chase. 2 for 2 so far. Playing it slow. The stun is available on the Annie. Arcturus gonna go in with the shield for the side off the you know, Steel is off the shield, but Lava Lizard goes down. Lava Lizard's down. Lava Lizard's down. Nick was chasing it. This fight is all over the place here, CDS.
Nikwar survives. He gets he's level 14 like you pointed out, and we're seeing the threatening champion that is the KO. So much done. But that fight, it starts with Naswak dying, and it ends up with a two-member survival on each side. Like, this should not be the case when you're winning the fight as the side of Big Menergy, but the kill is able to turn it around. We're at really risky points, if I'm honest, from the side of Big Menergy, because this fight should not have been that close. And if this continues on, like you're pointing out, it's not only the KO. The Jinx, she's close to her 3rd item as well. She's level 12. She's bound to get stronger. The Zac as well, he's going to get tankier. The side of Big Menergy are losing their spikes moment, and if they are not able to close it out, this is going to be so risky for them.
I mean, considering that fight, Naswak was the one that first got one shot. You look at Kale, Deathcap, Riftmaker, Nashers. You look at Jinx, sure, doesn't have a lot of damage, but has the ability to get resets, which is really important. Lulu, most importantly, Fire Streaks went from 0, 4, and 1 to 1, 5, and 11. It's been stepping it up in positioning for those shields and heals. And honestly, it's gotten to a point where the individual play from the side of Capedogs Unchained is keeping them in this game, keeping them in the series, keeping them in play-ins right now. And, you know, the gold is dead. The gold is still dead even right now. There isn't anyone that is truly ahead. And, you know, they need to make it work out. We see here a lot of just tense standoff here. Zac gonna channel it over, not gonna take the leap, and it's just so intense right now. TDS. I don't know how to describe it. Like, one fight at this stage, if it's a wipe for any team, it's just gonna be the game. It's just the deciding moment here. And, you know, teams are just posturing around the jungle here, playing it slow. They know what's at stake here as well. And you know, for the side of Big Menergy, they had that lead early. They still have that relative strength on the Zeri, and they need to be careful not to throw it away. Kale is going to be bot lane catching out this wave, as the side of Big Menergy are going to look to start the Baron to try to force out a fight here.
Yeah, the Kale has teleport, so she can, she's tipping immediately.
Yeah, teleport coming in from the side, and Nikwar ultimate is available. They have that Kale Archon combo. Again, the ultimate from the Jinx and the Archon gonna get dumped down. That's the shield bow gone for the side of Madolch. They have to back off this Baron here, TDS. It is 27 minutes in, and I feel like I'm casting a 40-minute banger right here. This is how, you know, it's everything's just on a knife's edge right now, as you know, the side of Capedogs Unchained are gonna get an inside track towards Dragon here, meaning that, you know, they're gonna put themselves on towards Soul Point. Maldosh is gonna be running back on towards the The stun gonna be used on the Zac, which is not the right target you want. The traps buying a little bit of zoning, and, you know, Capedog can burn this Dragon here. It's gonna be down to JMSY to be able to steal this, and with no vision to pin as well, the Dragon's just gone.
Yeah, the Dragon is dead. Like you're pointing out, the damage is enough. They lose the Scarlet Club, but who cares at this point? It's Soul Point obtained by the side of Capedogs. And this game is becoming way more tense than it should have been with the start of it. And like you pointed out, Annie cannot focus the Zac. She can never force it. And it's important that she doesn't even throw the stun like that, because the Annie needs to charge the stun, and you need to be able to have it.
We're gonna see Lava Lizard in the bush here. They know they're gonna be on Baron here. We're gonna see the flash.
The flash!
Perfect cleanse. Captain Jack that shit, baby. Oh my god, here we go. Arturus gonna go for the
Oh,
3-match.
oh,
Oh no,
Artorias!
Fate on
He's
seal.
dead?
Has to be your fate going down the drain. JMSY is sitting
Oh,
alone in the
no.
Baron pit right now. Boxing Buddha is gonna look for the play here, but JMSY is alone in the pit. This might just be the throw. The
Oh,
Baron
no.
is gonna go over to the side of Big Energy, but Naslik is gonna flash it. Gonna look on towards
Oh,
Mardox.
wait.
He's gonna take the kill on towards the side of the Zeri though. Even though that's gonna be a 4 for 2, Capedogs don't get the Baron, but still win out on the fight.
Yeah, really important fight. Diani dies. She tried to go for the combo. I gotta respect that. You see the AD carry, you go for it and get the kill. But like you pointed out, Kristen with the Captain Jack surviving like that, and then Arcturus, he saw the play. He saw the carry potential in his eyes. I think everyone thought that someone was going to die with that, but not able to. He dies immediately instead. And oh wait, Zach.
Boxing Buddha just gonna
okay, he's
jump
fine.
on out of
Yeah.
there. And TDS,
What's going on? Yeah.
even though the Baron went over, even though that Zeri is at 4 items, Akshan 4 items. You look at that Kale, zoom in on that level for me, baby. Level 16. This is a
We're
death
there.
bomb waiting to happen on the side of Big Menergy, and so
Even
there's
has a
so many
Sundash now.
threats. And there's the Zonyas as well, exactly. Pink wards are stocked up for the side of Capedogs Unchained as well. They can play out the map here. Crucially as well, Fire Streaks is able to provide so much healing, shielding value for the side of the team that just buys so much out. In fact, if we can, I want to get a look at how much healing that Moonstone Renewer has done, because there's just so much value. It's done 1,000. It's done 1,000 in heals and shields, which is half a health bar. And absolutely, it's a huge worth it, a huge cash in. Now, Nikwar might get caught out here. He needs to be careful. Gonna play back, which is very respectful here, but they might look to the play on Arcturus. They're gonna go for the cross map here. They are gonna look on towards this Yone, and that health bar is just evaporating right here. Fate Unsealed seals yourself back to the gray screen, and the rest of Big Menergy are gonna look for this play in towards the bot side here. Nikwar does have that ultimate available, but everyone is showing up. The whole squad is there. But Capedogs is ready to match and answer. They can give up this tower just fine. But no vision on the rest of the map means that's all they can really push for. The Kale has that range advantage now that can outpush the side of Big Menergy.
Yeah, and we're reaching the point where the Annie build is actually kind of impacting them. Wait, okay, now
that was a single Q from the side of Madosh. Just
the
going in on towards the loot. They're gonna go for the jump on towards Lava Lizard though, and Boxing Buddha is not scared of getting stunned up. It's exactly how they wanted to go. Boxing Buddha does tag on Madosh with the Q. Lava Lizard! Yeah, one shot by Kristen! Frog down pound! Boxing Buddha jumping as well, does have the ultimate as well. JMSY is split for the rest of the team. The comeuppance is coming in. Nasblack is safe on the side, and there is no Arcturus here, and this just could be it. The shutdowns are going over, and Capedogs Unchained are on leash.
Yeah, mid is pushing. They have the wave. The only one standing between them and winning is the Yone. 30 seconds for the Annie. Wait, Arcturus used the shadow. Okay,
yeah,
I think
Arcturus does pop that E there, and you have the Jinx passive, you have the kill damage. This could just be game, TDS. This could just be the series.
I think this is it. There's no chance. This is
it. This is it. No ultimate available on the side of Arcturus just yet, and they're gonna commit for the end. The Jinx passive is going. Nikwar flashes forward. Nikwar says no. This is my series. I take the time to scale. I take the time to get the kills. I take the series. Capedogs make it through.
What a series. Capedogs at the end pushing it through, but Nikwar, yes, level 16 kill. But my MVP, my man of the match, he pulled his weight all over the series, all over this game to keep Capedogs alive. Naswag, what a performance on the action. I think it was blind picked as well. It was blind picked before the Annie came through. They lane swapped it towards sublane, and through there, he carried the game. Complete credit to Naswag for the performance. Then the other members for not being scared at some points, surviving for as long as they need, and then turning around. But you gotta feel for Big Menergy. They played that game so well for the first 20 minutes, but until the Nexus explodes, it's not over. So you cannot think that you're going to win unless you actually win at the end. And that last fight at the Dragon, it was forced on them. It was sad, but it was a fight before that they were bound to lose. They were trying to run away. They get committed and they died immediately. And this is the point where I was thinking, I think that Annie with the proto belt would have worked a little bit better because that gives you the movement speed and the way to cut distance between the other champs. And that's simply something that the Annie didn't have. But
Yeah.
great game by Capedogs.
I mean, Cape Dogs. I mean, Nasfact, like if he just refused to lose, like he said, not for me, not today, and absolutely performed on that auction. Huge
Yep.
credit goes out towards the side of Big Menergy as well. Promoting up from AGL and performing really admirably in the side of APL. Absolutely has been a pleasure, to be able to cast them out. But you know, this is just a wonder of how this type of 3-game series can go back and forth and back and forth.
Yep.
And, at the end of the day, Capedogs Unchained with their individual play, with their scaling, with their scaling champions, with their team coordination, are able to pull it out and keep their hopes at making it to playoffs nice and alive.
Yep. As long as you have a chance, you can try and play it out and maybe get there. So Cave Dogs surviving, who knows? Maybe we see them in the finals later on. Maybe not, but maybe. So as long as they have a chance, it's going to be fun watching them. And like you're pointing out for Big Menergy, being able to come in like that and almost be able to turn around the series, it's something quite good to see from newly promoted. So hopefully they stay and they can try and pull up another performance like this later on.
Yeah, absolutely. And, with that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful series that we've got to cast tonight. Another splendid 3 games that me and TDS get to sit through. Next
Yep.
week will be our play-ins week 3. We'll have the matchups and all that stuff sorted out real soon. But, from me, TDS, our wonderful producer, Matt, thank you all so much for tuning in to this later stream tonight. And we'll catch you all next week.